All right. It's me. It's me, James Lott Jr. JLJ this morning, last day of September. I'm sitting down. We're gonna be on here for a while. Get it going, kids. Good morning. As you guys are coming on, I will do my stuff. You can sign up for any of the events. I know today's payday for some folks. Come sign up. Sign up, sign up, sign up, sign up, sign up. And I also have Flobo Boyce coming in a little later. You guys asked for a guest to come on. I'm like, who can I find is available in the morning? It's very hard because, I tell you, I'm the only person who doesn't have a regular job. So, Flobo Boyce, one of the people you asked for, he will be coming on a little later. We're gonna be on here for a while, talking and chit-chatting about life, and I want to hopefully sign up some people. Somebody just signed up for a Teriah event. I added a Sprina event. I asked the fans; they told me when to do it. And if this was successful, the second dates were January. And I'm eating at the same time. I woke up hungry. A lot's going on, kids. I'm setting up stuff. Setting it up. Okay, so that's done. Everything. I have my coffee. Everybody got your coffee, your tea, whatever you have to drink in the morning. Okay, we get back to the channel. But he will be on a little later. I'm setting up stuff. Yes, I did hear that. I heard everything. My allergies are kicking in. Good morning. Oh my God, my allergies. Sherry, Black Love, Judy, and okay, what is that? I'm beef acid. I'm eating some breakfast. I'm hungry now. So, yes, I did hear about that. She is recurring. Well, why not? She wants to play with two other things. They're not using her on why not? So that's what happens. Okay, yes. It will be fun. Okay. Somebody named Teriah Soulmates is coming to the Teriah fan thing. She just signed up. And so I'm excited. Hi, Natasha. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. It's Friday, September 30th. I'm eating a bowl of scramble. My hair is crazy. This salsa is like strong. But yeah, Flobo will be on a little later. Super chats are enabled. You want to sign up for your stuff? Sign up for the different shows. So I have it in the chat room. I have it underneath the thing. We have the YouTube one tomorrow, which you can still sign up for. It's a lot of fun. Just $5. You can sign up for that one. We have a good time. The famous private soap Zooms number 3 is next Saturday. It's going to be a hoot and a holler, and I may cry again. The audio drama one is on the 22nd. My drag one's on the 30th. Another YouTube one on 5th of November. The Friendsgiving, and then the Teriah Fan Meet Up is December 3rd, and now the Sprina Fan Meet Up is December 10th. So Sprina fans, you wanted it. You said you wanted it. Come start signing up. Those spots. I want to be very successful. I'm curious to see which one will be more successful, Teriah or Sprina. Very curious. This weekend, the soap block is back on Sunday. We're full on soap block. We're all back. I'm very excited to come back and talk to you guys. It's been a while. Yeah, Emma, she totally well, hopefully she'll tell some stories. That's why I want to explain some of this stuff to you guys who are like, well, what is this thing? So I'm going to invite, obviously, the folks from Sprina. I'm going to invite Cam and Kate. I can't afford to pay them to come to this event, or if they have the time or not. Yeah, not yet. Maybe next year that can happen. But right now, if I ask them, it's just as like their own thing to come on in for the fans if they want to. but this is more so a fan event for other fans to get together. We know how it is on social media. We know how it is on Reddit and all that stuff, where people are just so evil. It's like, let's have our own little get together, like the private Zooms. Let's get together, enjoy each other, meet each other, share stories, talk about why these couples are important to us, why we love our soaps, what we'd like to see. They become these really fun, cathartic events. So maybe she'll have some stories she can share with us, meeting them. I have some stories I can share also. It's going to be, these events, I think it'll be a lot of fun. I think fan meetups are fun because we don't all live together. We all live in other places. And it's a chance for us to get together. Oh, yay. Yeah, new Patreon. I just got a new Patreon. My Patreon also, you can check that out too. Patreon.com, James.Jr. I'm trying to get to 31 people. I got my 26th person right now. That's very good. I'll put it in the chat if you want to join me. I post it all the time. But yeah, I'm very excited to see what people have to say. And we're going to have a good, seriously, you can spend time with me. We're going to have a good time. So everything, I don't say tomorrow people get paid. So I'm like, come on, set aside a little $15, $20, $10, $5 for me. Get your tickets now, then have to worry about it later. You know, when the holidays start coming up, you got things to do in the holidays to pay for. Tony JC, Flobo's coming on later. He'll be on later on the show today. So I know you'll be excited. Plus, you need to come to our event on New Year's. Hang out with us. $25. You can hang out with me and Flobo. And all these events, he's coming a little later. Right now, you have only me. No, all these events, they say 90 minutes, but as some of you guys know, we've gone 2 hours. One, we went almost 3 hours. I don't know. We start having fun. We start getting into it. It starts becoming, there's some really nice, serious moments. I don't want to cut it off. I'm probably a sucker for that, but I don't care. Those of you who come to the events know, once you're there, it's a whole different story. You're with all these other people who are fans also. It's like this weird, it's this wonderfully weird thing. So I'm not gonna, I don't always end them right away. Oh, Shanika. Okay. If I remember correctly, that is for, okay. How's everybody doing today? That's the number one question. How is everyone doing today? It's really overcast here in Los Angeles. It's like it's not cold, but it's not hot, but it's like really weird. It's overcast. I have a light fan on me right now. Excuse me. This Jimmy Dean scramble thing is good. Hope it's real meat I'm eating. I don't know. Hoping it's real meat. Okay. I think this is the 22nd. My allergies. Kate sent me something I'm going to try. I haven't had a chance to try it yet. It's just too soon. TJ, you're good today. Okay. People are saying yes, right. I feel folks are going to start signing up today and like tomorrow over the weekend because they start getting paid. So 30th is the 1st. I know people had to get their money together, pay their bills. Black, what are you doing today? Your day off. What are you going to do? And Judy trying to get through the work day. That's right, girl. You can do it. You can do it. As I always say, it's Judy's turn to cry. Not always, sorry, JC. Not all meat's good meat. If you know what I mean. It is not. It is not. Genuine all fishery. I know, really. I mean, I know like Taco Bell, I mean, they had that problem. It's like 30% meat, but it's like soy and oatmeal. I don't mind that. It's all healthy stuff. I don't mind that. They're coding time. Well, that makes sense, Judy. That's why it makes sense. It's the 30th. We'll talk about how that whole meat problem. It might taste fine to me. Well, they revealed that it was not anything bad. It was just like, it wasn't lots of meat, I guess. But they claim, I think they claim it's more meat now, but who knows? It tastes good. That one tastes good. The tacos taste good. But I don't know, some of them I'm like, nah, not good. But I told you another live, I got some chicken sometimes, some chicken pieces, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? That is not part of the chicken. And what piece is that? That's not a leg or a thigh or a wing. What the fuck is that? It's frying up everything. I'm like, no, I don't try. Nope, that's okay. I'm good. I am good. You know, I'm just frying shit up, just make me eat it. Nope. If it looks weird, I can't do it. If it tastes weird, I can't do it. Texture is everything too. I can't. I'm like, yeah, I'm not skinny, but I'll eat everything. Everyone on a leave. Every 2 weeks. There you go, every 2 weeks. Regular schedule. You know what I'm talking about, Tony. You know, like what I'm talking about. That's why you laughing. You know I'm telling the truth. Not all meat's good meat. Oh, I know, me too, James fam. All right, I don't know what that is either. I don't think that's pork fried rice. I don't know what's in there. It's some fried rice, but I don't know what's in there. Well, for the most part, it's fine. You go to reputable places, it's fine. But I'll tell you, a couple times I was like, I don't know what that is either. I'll just kind of sit over here and do. Look at it. Okay, we're not gonna go there, Tony, because it's 8:44 in the morning for me. And it's a family-friendly show. I may cuss a little bit, but we're gonna try to keep it PG-13. But now I'm not about to say something. I just choked. I'm about to say something. See, God don't like ugly. I'm about to say something and choke my own words. So never mind. I will take care of my throat chakra and not to say this the snarky remark I was going to say. That's what I get. I totally choked myself. That's what I get. Exactly. You guys said you like this color on me, so I got this shirt the other day for $3 at Ross. Okay, yeah. See, I'm not even going there, kids. I'm not going there. That's what I get. See, God was like, James, it's Friday morning. Talk about other stuff. Stop being nasty. I know he's trying to tell me. He's trying to tell me to live the Christian way. Good morning, Miss Deb. How are you? I'm obsessed with my hair right now. I'm sorry. I'm obsessed with my hair. It stayed curly for 2 days. I didn't even wash it today. I don't wash my hair every day because you don't have to do that. Yes, Tony. You're not gonna bait me into it. You're not going to. Well, thank you. Actually, thank you, Black Love. I know it's funny. Most of you met me when I had a shaved head, and I've had a shaved head for years, and I look great in a shaved head. And I decided to grow my hair out to do it to a flat top. No, not doing it. Nope. To a flat top, and people like that too. That's why I did my photo shoot with Flobo. I had a flat top, and then I said I would keep growing my hair out just for fun, see what happened. And then I got my curling stuff, and I was like, I don't like my hair isn't curly. I was like, wow, love it. Yeah, hey, 50th to YNR. I know, happy 50. Can you believe that? YNR's YNR's the age of my brother. He's younger than I am. So I'm answering an email. I'm sorry, answering email at the same time. I'm answering emails at the same time. That's for the 24th. Okay, so paid Zelle 20. Okay. That's for the 10/22. Okay. I'm doing work at the same time. No, it came out in 70. It came out in 72. It came out, I think, like today, 72, isn't it? Or around September 72. My brother was born in August 72. Mother said she watched it after he was born. So let's look at that. Let me look at for the official dates. Young and the Restless. It says 73 on here, or it's the 50th. I'm sorry, it's the 50th season. It's the 50th season, and it starts today, and then it'll hit 53 in. Let's see what date it is. Yeah, okay. We'll look this up. I'm gonna Restless. It is. I don't want the official site. Okay, so yeah, so the 50th season, the 50th day is March 26th. So you're right. But my mother said she watched that. My brother was born 72 months before. Hi, MJ. Hello. Hello. Oh, I'm just waking up. My voice is gonna come back together. I'm just waking up. My voice is always raspy when I first wake up. I have a very deep voice. But once I start getting this in, my voice will be back to normal. It's gonna get there. I'm just on earlier than I normally am. But yeah, thank you. But I do have honey and stuff. I get stuff in my throat. My throat isn't hurting anything. It's just that when I first wake up, it's always a little raspy. And then it starts to come in. So you guys are getting me when I'm early. Because normally I come on, I'm already ready, but it's coming. I can feel it already changing. Nah, I'm good. No car for me. It's just too many people in LA, too crazy in LA. I don't I'm like, nah. I have friends and family cars, so I can use them if I need them, but my own car, no. There's a lot of problems. I had a car, there's a lot of problems. It's like all the stuff you have to pay for. My friends and family, all the problems with brakes and converter belts and whatever things, like tires. I'm like, ugh, no, thank you. That's quite all right. I will pass. No Freaky Friday. Today is Fab Friday. Today is PG-13 Friday. We're not doing that. We're going to be nice and healthy today. People are signing up for the events. I have 9 events now. So, Leverage, some of you saw I'm doing a Sprina event now. So I'm like, a Sprina. I'm curious to see which one's going to do better, Sprina or Teriah. Which event? So Black, you're in Atlanta. You're in hot Atlanta. You have a car. See, now I was wondering, in those kind of places where it's a little more rural. Well, Atlanta's a major city. You can get around. Atlanta has the MARTA. Is that the underground system, the MARTA? Can't remember. Or that DC had MARTA. One of them has MARTA. I haven't been in Atlanta in a long time. I liked Atlanta. I guess you can get around Atlanta with a car. I mean, it's very just, and you got Ubers and Lyfts and stuff, but here in LA, I can get around. It's much more than, I would say 20 years ago, I couldn't, but now, yeah, you can now. They extended our subway systems, everything. MARTA, so I was right. I can remember, I remember that, MARTA, yes. You have a vehicle, you don't use it much, your fiance drive more than you. That happens, right? It happens sometimes. You're like, I don't do much. Well, now I'm mostly home, GH fan. I'm mostly home now, working from home. So I really don't need it. And I got the house, I got the house. I don't really need it. But Black Love, do you like living in Atlanta? I know Jay's fan. I've been speaking on this storyline for a long time. Not a fan of it. Not a fan. Not a fan at all. I've been saying it all this whole time. And now it's coming to a head. I know. I'm not a fan of it. I actually love if they do a DNA test. Turns out she isn't Curtis's daughter. Wouldn't that be a nice twist? Well, we'll talk about that more this weekend. I'm saving all my soap stuff for this weekend because I'll be talking with you. Right, Black Love, same here. I had outside jobs mostly, but then now they're done because of COVID. So I'm working at home. So I'm like, I make sure my house is all cutesy, and I'm like, I don't have to go anywhere that much. And for a while, I was getting all my deliveries sent here and all my grocery shopping online. I'm like, I don't do anything. I didn't go nowhere. So how about you guys on here and where you guys live? There's some places you have to have a car. Oh, you're another Brooklynite. See, Flobo's from Brooklyn. I'm from Brooklyn. We all Brooklyn folks. Now, what part of Brooklyn are you from? You don't have to ask that. My family's Fort Hamilton Parkway, Park Slope, Prospect Park. I forgot where Flobo's from. So you can tell you guys when he comes on later. But he's from another part of Brooklyn. Now, I just watched the thing on Brooklyn because Jimmy Kimmel's in Brooklyn right now. Just watching that. Love my New Yorkers. Love my New Yorkers. But Atlanta's great. I said every time I visited, I had a great time. Very cosmopolitan, very Black. It was great down there. I had a good time. So I was at a good time. Atlanta Fashion Week. It's like, oh, okay. I know New York City. That's why you see New York City. New York City, it's not like it. Like in LA too. It's not like LA. LA is its own. Flatbush. Okay, there you go. Very good. New York City and the 5 boroughs, LA and all of its largeness. There's nothing like either city. They're both very different. Very, very different. Dallas, Chicago, Atlanta, Miami, San Francisco, Seattle. And they're all different. All these major cities they're all so different. I love them all. I do. I lived in many of them. Pittsburgh. But I'm back in LA, folks. I'm here. This is where I need to be. I'm here taking care of my parents too. So, but that's besides them. This is where I need to be. What's so funny about this toilet sensor lights? I don't know if this is the same one, but Shark Tank had them years ago. Somebody posted on Shark Tank. I kept thinking, I peed in the middle of the night. That actually is a great idea. Raising your kids has been my job. That's my job. That I say, Sherry. I always tell people. I don't say stay-at-home mom anymore. I always say they are house managers. Moms run the house because they run the kids, and they're running all their sports events and doctor appointments and school shit. Moms and some single dads or whatever that. It's being a parent period is a hard job. But I'm telling you, being a mom, it's you guys are the strongest. Women are strongest. I love my men, but women are strong. Oh, I do. Okay, so you see. Thank you, Leopardess. Okay, I don't know if you saw it or not. Thank you for retweeting it. Good morning, George. All my Black folks are here. I love it. But no, and Flo will be on a little later, around 9:30. He'll be on. So you have to have time with me first. Then we'll bring him on. But yes, I think it's being a parent, being a mother, being a father, being anything. It's a hard job. It really is. People always ask me, how'd you do it? Because me and my baby mamas, we were poor, we were young, we were in school, we were doing all kinds of stuff, and we had to figure it out. There are times when I was watching the baby at night while she went to school, and then she had to watch the baby during the day when I went to work and went to school. And there was because we weren't together and dropping up people off, and we had a whole village that also was around us too. We had a whole village, but we were young and poor. I mean, I remember I used to drink lots of soda. I saved the cans, and me and her baby mom would go to the recycling center to buy diapers, get the money to buy diapers, coupons. We talked the other day, I'm a huge couponer. But we also had a village of friends and some family members who were there in the beginning, who were just like, let me help out, let me do this, let me do that, I'll take her. And my daughter Monica especially was an easy baby. Black love, well, any parent in here could tell you it's not easy. With even having somebody, it's not easy. Doing it alone I'm sure it's the hardest thing on earth. So I don't know, I've never done it alone. I had help, so I never done it alone. It was hard with just two of us. So I don't know Black love. I mean on some levels, like, do you think you can get a partner? I mean, that's the whole thing too. It's like, how late do you want to wait? I don't know how old you are and how long you're waiting to, you want to have kids. I'm 53. I couldn't imagine having kids right now. I am tired as it is. I can't know. Nah. I'm glad I had them when I was younger. I'm a grandparent. I love that part. That's it. But if you don't want your kids super later in life, then it may be like, I can get it started. And if you meet somebody who likes kids, then there's that too. So I think anybody now, if you're over 35, 40, when you're in the dating world, gay or straight or whatever nowadays, you love kids. Oh, okay. You're my age. So DC, it'll be tonight. It'll be tonight. So what I do is I wait to see who else signs up. So I send out one big email. It's a BCC, so no, not anybody else email, but I wait till everybody gets, so I just send out at once. So links to come out tonight. Okay, so, but it'll be here for you. If you can come. You can't, but you'll get the link. But you're on the list. You're on the list. Oh, you're right, 53 already. Well, Black love, you better get to it. I mean, you have to have energy. You have to have energy. So everybody, check out DC Soap Sanctuary's video with Brock TV and Albert. I mean, it was a fun video seeing these three Black men talk about soap operas, each other. I love seeing DC and Albert gush all over Brock TV. You're just gushing over him. I loved it. It really did warm my heart. I'm not even trying to be shady. It warmed my heart. I just like, that's what this whole thing's about. This is what the whole thing's about. You got it? Okay, good, Leopard. That's okay. I said, the mail's weird these days. And I'm like, I don't know how. I tell people, I'm sending it out the way I think it's going to go to you guys. Who knows? Gardening question. You were gushing. It was cute. It was very cute, DC. No, I mean, seriously. If somebody inspires you and then you get a chance to have them on your show, that's major. I've had that happen. Trust me, I've had it happen to me. I gush. I have no problem with that. I do. Gardening question. Have you ever ordered plants that are not safe found in California? No, I've never done that before. That's a very interesting question, JLJ Fan. No, I've never have. That's very interesting. I've never have. That would be very. See, George watched it 3 times, DC. That is. But you know what I mean? It's like, I never thought of it before, actually, because I just try to find plants that are good for my area because I want them to last. But that'd be interesting to do that. Oh, I'm tired, James. I'm a chef, chauffeur, housekeeper, financial officer. I had 4 kids within a 5. Girl, okay. I want my kids young. My first one, my last, wouldn't change it. 4 kids, girl. That's a lot of kids. I got 2 and I'm done. You started the Forever Day podcast. So do you recognize on the first season, do you recognize a voice as a narrator on that series? You might recognize one of the voices of the series. And the fact that I've done it. I know, see, DC, I'm saying, that's what I'm saying. There are people I admire that I had a chance to have on my shows where I seriously gushed and was like, oh my God, I couldn't believe it. And I felt very humbled by it because it's like, one of my favorite people is Dr. Steve Perry, and I had him on my show a couple years ago. And I was like, he was like, James, I know your work. I'm like, you know my work? I know your work, and you know my work. And I'm like, I couldn't believe, I almost wanted to cry. You know me, I cry all the time. Oh, you want stars? Oh, it's you, yay, already see. You want stars, yes. And it's so funny. Like it's one of those things where You know, you're allowed. I say that with love. I say it really warmed my heart that you guys were so happy to have him on your show. And you guys shared the experience. I mean, so, and I love having you both on my show. It was fun. We had a great time. And of course, we're gonna do it again. But I'm all about collaborations. That's why Flobo's coming on later. We're all about collabs. So yes, you know, so I totally get that. But it's one of those things where you just like, you can't believe someone's on your show. When I had James Reynolds on my show, I'm like, you're Abe. I'm like you've been around for 40 years, and now I can call him my friend. Now he's my friend. You know, when I met Chris Alfonso, of course, which was my magical moment, and I was just like, you know, Chris Alfonso is like everything for me. And so, I mean, that's just, I mean, when you have people on your shows or you do work with people you do really have admired all these years, it doesn't always happen for anybody. It just shows that dreams can come true. No matter how small or large they are, that's what it shows. It shows that dreams can come true. And that's kind of a fun part. If people are nice and loving and everything, it really can work. And so I've had it happen for me. I'm glad it's happening for you. You guys all have your followings. I know you've been doing it the least, DC, but you all have your followings, and it's fun to see some of the names I see in here following you on other things. I think it's a lot of fun. There's room for all of us. There's no, I don't need proprietary stuff on this. Oh, my Steve Burton. Yes, Mr. Steve Burton. Oh, Leopardess. He watched my interview with Steve Burton. I think it's at 18,000 or 19,000. My second biggest video of all time. Yes, I did. Black Love. Oh my God. So Black Love. It's about full circle. I got to interview Martha Byrne, who played Lillian Rose. She's our age. She was the nicest person, most down to earth. Check out that interview. It's under, oh my God, what is it under? Okay, I'm gonna tell you what's under. And I interviewed Melissa Hayden, who played Bridget. I love Bridget. That's another one I loved. I interviewed her. Okay, let me see if I can find. I have to go to my own channel. And I'll tell you. Because I don't have a As World Turns after show. But I'll look on here, and I think Martha. So I can't remember what I did under as Martha Byrne. And I met Lucinda at the end. I got a chance to talk to her, Elizabeth Hubbard. But I haven't had a chance to interview her yet. Oh, it's called In Between the Pages with James Lott Jr. I talked to Martha Byrne, and then Melissa Hayden is Extra Connections. So check my Extra Connections, check my way. And so I know, Leopardess, you weren't on last night. I was like, where's my girl? We had a great little crowd in there for She-Hulk last night. I was wondering where you were. Oh, you went to Kansas Twitter Space. That's fine. You go to Candace. But yes, I interviewed both of them. And Lauren B. Martin, who was on As the World Turns. That's my friend. I was like, it's completely, I love As the World Turns. So yeah, they're on my channel, so look them up. I remember the first day I saw 10-4GH my show. Yes, well, remember, I didn't know who you were, DC. I was like, I just connected DC and DC is for the audio dramas, but then also your DC. Then I connected it. That was crazy, and I connected that. You should be nervous. Yes, they're good. No, I said I wanted those two people for sure, and I've had others. I'm sure I've interviewed that have been on As the World Turns, but those two are the ones I was like, I really wanted to have my show. I would love to have Katie McLean. I'm talking to her right now to get her on my show. A few other people, but there's a lot of folks that I would love to have from there. And I just haven't had them yet. I'm trying to get Robert Newman. That's the next thing. Trying to get Robert Newman to talk about everything, Guiding Light, As the YNR, I mean, and all that. Oh yeah, we're going to do an all black soap panel. I've been talking to people about it. I got to figure out. It may be sometime in October. If not, it may be November. I have my schedule. Okay, folks, I produce this many shows a month, just about. This is all the shows I do every day by myself. So I'm a little busy. So I'm trying to figure it all out. There's a million things I want to do. I'm trying to figure it all out. And have a life at the same time. And, do other stuff. And write my books and write my music and stuff. So that's, I'm doing all those things at once. I'm gonna keep saying this during the show. Sign up for the earned reward. Oh, okay. Big Lots gave me a reward. That's good because I want to go to Big Lots to see if they have this little card I want. I'm like, this is great. Let me print this out. I don't want all pages. I just want page 2. Oh, page 2. Okay. I get a reward. I love rewards. But sign up for my shows. You guys are on. You guys are getting paid. Sign up for my shows. My events. Matt, that's pretty funny. That is so funny. I'm sorry, my love. I did not know you were in a meeting. A security meeting. Yeah. I know it's next weekend, Teriah, Spectrum Celebrity Events. It's next weekend. Then after that, it's my event. So we can talk about it on there too. So sign up. Come to my event too. You're wrapping. Okay. Oh, you didn't like the episode of She-Hulk? I liked it. You didn't like it. How funny. Okay. So now I wish you were in the chat room. We could talk about it. Because my co-hosts were like, yeah, I liked it. So only stuff I remember. I met Victoria Rowell, of course, and I've talked with her. We have the same birthday. She is very gracious. No, she's actually a nice person out there. You think she has an attitude or whatever. Nope, no attitude. No attitude at all. She's super nice. Yeah, and Sherry, I'll be there at the Teriah event too. So I'll be there seeing my friends. And my chocolate twin, Tony Moore, doing his thing, because Tony Moore is one of the best hosts out there. You guys should show Tony Moore lots of love. You should go to Lounging with Tony and give him lots of love. LOTTS. You should give it to him. He's one of my best friends. I'm in this business because of him. And that's the way. Well, DC, what's so funny is I looked at my #1 show today right now is my Knots Landing one. Knots Landing. That's my new one. That's guy's #1 this week. So DC, I did Knots Landing, Dallas, the Kobe's, and Falcon Crest. I just stopped doing them. I did them for the last 2 years. So you can go. I know DC, I do a lot of stuff. I know everybody can't keep up with everything that I do. They can't keep up with everything I do. But I did do after shows for them. I do an after show for girlfriends. I do an after show for, I do a lot of stuff. I do an after show for all this. I do all this stuff. So yes, so I do. So you got to check out. I'm not Queers and Soaps. I do things differently. Those are my boys. You know that. I love them. I do things differently. Older ones, no, I have not. I don't have time. I wish I could. I don't have time. James, I'm a comic book gig. When you start doing. So we did from the beginning. From the beginning. No, Matt don't host. They hire people. It's Tony. Tony Moore's their host. He's always their host. But no, I am a comic. So yeah, we just what maybe it's like I like She-Hulk. There's something different. I'm not a comic person. I'm not a nerd. I do Star Wars. I'm a Star Wars nerd. If you do that, I'll be Star Wars. But I like the trailer for She-Hulk. I know the comics are very tongue-in-cheek and winky, and I thought this could be fun, and that's why I decided to do it. Yeah, Tony's usually the host. He's the hostess with the mostest. So I'm gonna say everybody should go follow Lounge. Okay, I want to tell everybody. Go to all social media platforms. Follow him at Lounging with Tony. Tell him James sent you. I would not be here if it wasn't for him. No, I really wouldn't be if it wasn't for him. There'd be no Lotties, none of this stuff if it wasn't for Tony Moore doing a show called Audition Days. A first timer. You're gonna get hooked. See, you got first timer, Matt. You never forget your first, Sherry. 60s Batman. It is very much so. Yes, I agree with that. But yeah, the problem is I don't have enough time. I just don't have enough. I wish I could. I don't have time. I don't have enough. There's not enough hours in a day. Not enough time. You know, I didn't want to become, and here's the funny thing. I didn't want to become the soap guy. I am the person who does everything. I'm an organizer. I'm a life coach. I write books. I do music. So that's why JLJ Media is not just a soap channel. It's very much an everything channel. So whenever I decide I want to do this, like we're doing Only Murders in the Building. There's certain shows I can do an after show for, but I wish I could. I wish I could. There's a lot of shows I want to do and I just can't. I want to do La Brea after show. Yes. Oh, yes. When I interviewed, oh my God, she just passed away last year. Oh my God, Felice Sampler. Felice Sampler, who played Remain Jamal. That was your first. Wow. She was so sweet. She did a lot of voiceover work in anime. She's very well known in the anime community, and she passed away last year. Yeah, she played the original Renee Dumont. Felice Sampler is her name. May she rest in peace. She could have been nice for all this stuff for us and everything. It was amazing. She was so grateful to do the show with us. Me and Mark J. Freeman had a great time with her. I loved all the stories she had to tell. I love older people. I do. I think she would have, because my other friend who played Megan Hathaway came back. My girl Miranda Wilson. She and I are friends, and I was going to interview her, but I gave her to Tony, Mission Days. They do day stuff, but she's great too. But I think they probably would have. I know, but she was sick when she died, so I'm really sad to hear that. But that was your first intro, DC. That's so funny. Okay, yes. I always want people to first see me, and I had no hair at the time, I'm sure, and everything. I didn't know I had a goatee at the time. I always go back and forth. Yeah, it was nice. We had a great. She was just so, because they get it. Because a lot of the older stars, they're not trying to be anything during the interview. You know what I mean? Because some guys. I don't know if anybody in here interviews anybody. It's not as easy as it looks. We make it look easy, and I try to make them feel very comfortable. Oh yeah, now I'm wearing my glasses. I still wear glasses, but I don't have to on camera anymore. Except I can't wear them up close anymore. Back then, because the cameras are far away, I had to wear glasses. But that's the whole. It was such a. It just, a lot of the older ones just are there to have a good time. They're happy to be there. They have all these stories to tell. And I'm just like, tell me. They don't have exactly, DC. That's exactly what. No, seriously, because I'm giving them their flowers in person anyway. I'm like, I love you. You're great. I give them all their props, but they don't have to act like anything. They're just like, I'm here, and that's it. You know, it's just, you know what I mean. It's like, it's not, it's not a crazy thing. So yeah, so yeah. I think if she was alive and well, they probably would have brought her back. That would have been wonderful for us older Days fans. When they started mentioning Renee, people were like, James, who's Renee? Who's Renee? Who's Renee? So I had to explain the whole thing and her famous scene, her famous tell-off scene at the party and all this stuff. So yeah, it was. I like that they went back in time a little bit. Yes, I had to give it to DC. He was watching your show. I know he's watching your show because Fido's one of my friends. I've interviewed him, of course, years ago. I interviewed him at the Emmys. I saw him at the Emmys. And you just, you completely did a great job with it. It was so fun. I'm like, it's fun interviewing. That's what sets me. Oh, yes, films. I completely agree with you. Completely agree with you. Completely agree with you. Here's the thing. I was watching you and Brock and everybody. You guys don't really interview anybody. You guys just you guys just react to the shows and do little skits and things and all that stuff. I always say I'm a little different than you guys because I came in on a network. You guys started on your own, which I think is very admirable. I started my own afterwards, but you guys came on your network by yourselves. You came on your own, so yourself. I had the whole AfterBuzz TV family behind me, and so that gave me, I mean, our shows did 10,000 views, 20,000 views. That's probably why I'm so popular, is because I was in front of so many people. And so I did interviews from the very beginning. So I mean, I've been working with the networks. So a lot of the other shows, a lot of the other soap reviews are different than mine because I interview people. So probably 411 interviews people sometimes too. Candace and them get people sometimes too. 10-4 I got them, Kathleen Gotti. They got Fido on their own. And I think it's somebody else. They got Ken Shriner on their own. So they're starting to get there too. So it's one of those things where it's kind of like, but I had a machine behind me. But I didn't say I worked hard. I mean, I worked my ass off. The last, and I said Brock has me by a couple of years in terms of doing reviews. I've been doing it for 8 years, just about. And he's been doing it for 10. And Candace too is almost 10 years. So Candace, yes, it's almost 10 years. So but doing interviews, it's not the easiest thing, because you have to be entertaining, ask the right questions, make sure that they're entertained. It's a lot of work to interviews. I might do an interview Zoom event, because I think, because people say I'm one of the best ones in the business, and I agree with them. I highly agree with them. And I think I gotta show people how to do interviews, because I think everyone can do it. You can all do interviews. I mean, we can all do it. But I think it's like, there's certain things. There's some bad interviewers out there. So I might be doing one of those. Then you and Albert have to come. You have to come to that. So anyway, that's kind of something that I've been thinking about, because you want to get the best out of people when you're interviewing them. You want to get the best out of them. You only got them for a certain amount of time. Sometimes you have them for 20 minutes. I had Peter Bergman for 20 minutes. I stretched it to 25, and that's where you have to really use your skills. Like, well, Peter Bergman is a legend. He was Cliff Warner on All My Children. He's the guy who coined the phrase. Well, he was the guy who said the phrase, "I'm not a doctor, but I play it on TV," which he said on my show, paid for his son's college tuition. Then he, of course, Jack on Young and the Restless. I mean, he's been around for a long time. I have 25 minutes with him. I've seen people squander interviews, or people say, "I wish I should have said this." So you have to really you have to know how to interview people to get what those, because there are fans who want certain things answered. It's very crazy. It's very, you want to interview. Yes. Okay, first of all, I don't do shady interviews. I don't attack my guests in real life. We don't do that. You don't invite someone to your home and attack them. That's so funny. But that's the whole point. It's very much, I'm not a bitch, but exactly as she said that. Yeah, bitch on TV. But that's one of those things. It's like, people need to learn how to get the most out of their guests. And there are certain questions everybody wants to know. You gotta get out. You gotta get in there. Me too, Tony. I did. And we talked about, you can watch it. We talked about, why don't we spotlight Peter Bergman? I asked him about them and Angie being cut short because they're interracial, Tony. I asked that question. I go, how'd you feel about you and Debbie Hubbard, Debbie Morgan getting together as colleagues and falling in love, and they cut it? And we talked about it. So it's a good interview. It's a really good interview. And I got to tell you, Peter Bergman's the nicest guy, and he loves his job. It oozed out. Oh, so you saw it. Okay, you saw it. I wasn't sure. But it oozed out. He loves his job. He loves his business. And it's like, and you can tell people love this business, and other folks are phoning it in. We all know actors who phone it in. We all do. We all know that. We all know that. We all know what he wants to do. Peter Bergman does not phone it in. It does. I mean, seriously, it does on screen. I'm telling you, when Diane came back, there are some scenes that he needs to be on there for Debbie next year. There's some scenes that when he got mad at Phyllis that first, oh my God, you can tell chemistry. You're out, DC. You're absolutely correct. Chemistry and passion cannot be faked. You guys talked about Roger Howarth at Brock TV, and I completely agree with him. I think Roger is a legend. Roger Howarth is a legend. I don't think he gets enough enough. Oh, Black Daddy! All right. So, what are you signing up for, Black Daddy? Which one are you signing up for? So you're on here. Which one are you signing up for? I can put it in. But that, I mean, it's. I mean, Peter does. So yes, Mandis is Candace. I just can't see. You say Candace's name 3 times, and she shows up. She shows up. So Candace, you know what to do. Promote my events, girl. You know what to do. People are getting paid today and tomorrow. Make sure they start paying up. They start doing it. Start buying the events. Oh, they all do. Yes. The scenes between Billy Flynn and Dan Furigal have been amazing. Billy Flynn's been amazing this whole time. I hate the storyline. I think it's dumb. But Billy Flynn has been amazing. Oh, you just wanted to bless me. Oh, well, thank you, Black Love. Oh my God. So I looked at the thing. I'm like, that's it. Well, thank you. That's very sweet of you. Thank you. That's very sweet of you. I appreciate that very much. I appreciate it very much. Thank you. You knew I was talking about you. Yes. That's a good one too. I would love that also. I mean, Alan Locker does a lot of the panels. But yeah, at some point I could do that. I would. Yes, Mr. Leo was on AMC. I do remember that. Well, Tracy Bregman's my girl. I love me some Tracy Bregman. It's real. I read an interview how Sally got away with murder. She was real. Oh, okay, that's interesting. I wouldn't be surprised with that. Chemistry is everything. People would say me and Sean Kane have chemistry. We're together on shows. Everything. They love our chemistry. Our live events will love us together. Jackal and Stone Cold, they have chemistry. Oh, they did. What did they say, Candace? I'm curious. They talk shit about me. They talk shit about me in Twitter Spaces, saying, "What did they think you're gonna do? Sprina Fan? Are they talking shit about me?" And someone outside had said, "This is a great idea, Jen. I'm glad you're doing it." They go, "We want it today." I go, "Well, I can't do it today, clearly." Oh, Tracy is as beautiful. Black Love. Tracy is as beautiful in person as she is on screen. She's beautiful. She doesn't age. And it's nothing plastic about her at all. She's a horse girl. She likes about horse riding and stuff. She is wonderful. So they like the event. Okay, guys. I gotta make sure, Candace. I'm just making sure. I wasn't sure they're talking shit about her or not. I want the Sprina fans to love me. They're gonna love me. I'm trying to do something nice for them. That's all. I'm trying to do. That's why I asked them first before I did it. Yeah, they always say me and Sean have chemistry. We do. Jason show. But she's good. I love homegirl from Jason. You talk about Tracy from Wine Arm. I love Jason Sunday show. I love her. Also. I love her. But yes, it's Tracy Bregman is just like she is love and light and everything lovely. She has an Emmy. She's an Emmy winner. Long time ago. I forgot what she won it for. Well, Q&A. Well, I don't know if you saw my Emmy interview with them with my cousin Christian J. LeBlanc. So yes, that everybody loves that interview. We had a great time having fun. Yes, it all evened out. Yeah, she got her Emmy. Missa got her Oscar. Yeah, it all evens out. They all get their things. But yes, I actually would love to. I've interviewed Christian alone. I've had Tracy and Christian together at the Emmys. But yeah, I would love to have them actually on my show. Oh my God. It would have to be just the 3 of us. I can't have my other girls on there. Oh my God, this is basis. I just know I want to make sure. I wasn't sure. I know Sprina's on there all the time. Sprina's on there all the time. And folks, and I want to say something. Folks talking shit about Christian's hair. I loved his hair. You know me, he was a little different. Shit. The Wiz. You're watching The Wiz. Oh my God, it's so funny. I love The Wiz. I'm sorry, folks. You're going to take my black card away from me. I don't care for The Wiz, the movie Michael Jackson, Diana Ross. I like the original Wiz from Broadway with Stephanie Mills. Sorry, that's just me. Yeah, no, DC, I agree with you. I totally agree with you. I like the character of Austin, the promise of Austin. He's a Quartermain, and he's not even with the Quartermains. It's what they've done with this character as an abomination of church and state. Totally agree with you, DC. Completely agree with you. An abomination of church and state. Oh, Johnny Lovers, people talk shit about me all the time. But I have a lot of people who like me too. Gail gasp. You're doing a gay gasp, Matt. You're doing a gay gasp. How are you feeling today, Matthew Litchfield? How are you feeling? Yes, Roger Howarth was Paul Ryan on As the World Turns. He was Paul Ryan on As the World Turns. He was good on there. Yeah, I think she becomes a princess. I think she becomes a princess, I think. Cherie, me too. I think that's the right. Stop trying to put her with these hot guys or whatever. I think let's put you back together. That's true. He's been on Loving. He was on Guiding Light as what? As who? I don't remember that. That one I don't remember. Of course, Todd. Oh, good. You're feeling better. Good. Yeah, the Austin Maxie thing is just not working. DC, I'm right. Hello. Diana Ross was way too old for that part. And I love me some Diana. Don't get me wrong. Diana's a queen. But I'm like, Michael Jackson was perfectly cast as a scarecrow. I'll give him that. But I just didn't like that version. If you believe, and then you'll be there. Oh my God, the loving Peebo Bryson. What happened to Peebo Bryson, folks? A whole new world. What happened to him? What happened to Peebo Bryson? I agree, films. I do like Cinderella. I like Cinderella. He did? I didn't even know that, Candace. Well, I know Candace would know. Candace, have you met Roger? But Peebo Bryson, dang. What happened to him? He had a career for a while. I'm in your arms again. Tonight we're gonna be better. All those songs. I was supposed to interview him, and it just fell through years ago. I was like, Peebo Bryson, Freddie Jackson, Luther Vandross, James Ingram. I'm friends with Claude McKnight, who was from Take Six, who's Brian McKnight's brother. Because you got one life to live. Dun, dun, dun. That theme song was hilarious. I like those back when they had good theme songs. Yes. When they would sing theme songs. In another world. That's that theme song too. They all had theme songs right there. I love it. I love a good theme song. So, most of my shows have theme songs. Well, I miss Luther also. And I think out of all of that genre, Luther he could write, he could produce, he sang so effortlessly that it's so, you see, there you go, right. And they were all there. I'm old, folks. I'm old. I miss the old R&B singers. I do. I miss some Peebo Bryson or Howard Hewitt or, like I said, Freddie Jackson or Gregory Abbott or my favorite, Get Out of My Dreams, Get Into My Car, or Caribbean Queen, as we're digging the same scene, and our hearts would beat as one. No more love on the run. Like, what happened? What's going on with Billy Ocean? Is he in the ocean? And you come on at the music part. And ladies and gentlemen, it's Flobo. So gentlemen, start fawning all over him. He's here.
Wait, there's gentlemen fawning all over me? Oh my goodness.
They're in here. Tony JC, they're in here. They're waiting for you.
Thanks for inviting me out there. What's this? Is this JLJ this morning? Is it
Yes, it is. It is
the
25.
flagship show?
Yes, it is. It is. Yes, it is.
Yeah, I can't believe I'm here. Thanks so much for inviting me.
We're talking about R&B singers we missed, like Luther Vandross. And everybody was saying Flobito. Yes, Billy Ocean. I was going Billy Ocean. Billy Ocean he's the artist with the most longest title songs.
Really? I didn't know that was a record.
All my dreams get into my car. When the going get tough, tough get going. Caribbean Queen or Love on the Run. Get all songs. But I say hi to Flobo, say hi to Flobito. Welcome in with Lottie arms.
Thanks so much. I got so many fans here. What's up, Cherry, Tony, Matt? Yeah, Black Love with a Q, and Candy Poo. You know what's funny? I actually like that era of R&B better than the 90s era. Like I grew up in 90s R&B. I know that was a big thing, and as a DJ, I play the slow jams at weddings. But that late 70s, early 90s R&B, you know, like even with the little funk mixed in there, you know, the Barge and Callaway and I wanna be rich.
Everybody get off the meat, folks.
What's going on?
We're not going nasty. I already told you earlier, we're doing a G-rated show.
What meat? What's going on with meat?
Asking you, how was your I must have said meal. I thought I said meat. Sorry, Phil. I said how was the meat?
Oh, the meal with James. James is always fun. It's always fun hanging with James because he takes me off the ground when I'm like, oh, I deserve to live under a bridge. Nobody likes my content. He's like, stop being a wuss. Smack. But we had breakfast yesterday. It was the first time I think we had breakfast in a while.
Yeah, in a while. I always yell at him. I always yell at Flobo all the time. Just that's what I do. I do. Nobody's supposed to be here. That's Deborah Cox. We're talking about men right now. Male singers.
We're talking about men. Do I need to go?
I meant male singers. Male singers. But no, Flobo, what's wrong with the 90s? You know what's wrong with the 90s?
I have a guess.
A lot of the R&B was begging R&B. I was also pleading R&B. It's like, please, like Jonas singing, love me.
Yeah. I'm on my knees. Keep Sweat. Oh, baby. So, yeah. I always felt like 90s R&B tried to be like slow Michael Jackson. And then we had this like copy derivative thing. If I'm getting into it, until like R&B woke up and says, hey, let's just be EDM for 5 or 10 years. But the 90s, early 2000s was like.
Yes. Oh, Matt, listen, when you come to LA and you come to my hood, I'll take you for good breakfast. There's a lot of good breakfast places I've taken Flobo. Coffee Company, that place, a bunch. Wherever I eat good. Clearly, I eat good.
They have good skin? What the hell is that about? Clearly.
Because I'm fat. That's why I'm pulling.
You hit your face. That is like definitely someone.
I meant all this.
And has vitamins.
All this.
You probably get all your omega-3 acids and everything in your meals, bro. Like
I do have my vitamin C drops, so we'll be doing those soon.
You're not fat. You're beautiful.
Thank you. I'll take that. If any black man compliments me, I take it. They're asking you a question. Flobo, how's it being friends with our Teriah godfather? It's me.
Is that you? It was great. Yeah, you know what? I didn't know who Teriah was until hanging out with James and his Lotties and all these different characters. But
he's asking how's it being friends with me.
Oh, how is it being friends with you? It is a trip. Wow, that is a very good question. Because like this is the James all the time. This is not a character. This is not a character. This isn't a persona. It is like he's like, all right, and it's JLJ. He's that way all the time. And sometimes you be out there, you be like, hey man, someone's looking at you. I don't give a hell. Like he's just which is pretty cool, pretty noble. And I always commend him to his face. I say, someone who gets things done, you don't turn that off either. You know, we're going here, we're doing this. I'm sitting here. Like it's pretty awesome.
I am like that.
Yeah.
I am. And Flo was a nice friend to have too. He is.
Yeah, I'm all right.
We talked about how they want to know. Sugar wants to know how do you? Everyone's asking you questions. How do you know me? You should tell that story. You always tell.
Oh yeah, sure. So we were at AfterBuzz TV. I'm not sure. Do you know what AfterBuzz is? I don't know if they.
They know AfterBuzz.
Oh, okay. So AfterBuzz and James and I both live in the West Side, and so I would drive all the way over there, try to hustle, and I thought I was the smartest guy. You know, I thought I was hustling and making my name out there because I was a comedian that didn't have any fans. I can't get booked anywhere without fans. So I get to AfterBuzz early one day because I do the wrestling shows, and wrestling starts at 5 p.m. on a Monday. So I'll be there at 1 or 2 to beat the traffic. That's how LA is. You take your whole day to beat the traffic. And so AfterBuzz, it has like 4 studios lined up together in the background. And all I saw was just this door swing open. And James comes out. Granted, it was James without like the hair now. So, but he was still like this whole thing. He had a box, and he had his own logo of like James Lott, the super organizer. He comes out, hey, how's it going, everybody? What a good show. We have another show coming up. Bye. It just goes into another studio. I'm like, oh, who the hell was that guy? And everyone was looking at me like, oh, you don't know James? I mean, he's here all the time. He had 20 different shows. I'm like, well, anybody that has his logo on his stuff or his props tells me that someone that will hustle all the time. So I introduced myself. Didn't realize that you didn't drive at the time. So you're actually like taking your stuff and you're loading it into like an Uber to do the show. And I was like, wow, that was dedication. So I think I hit you up like right after that. I said, hey, let's get some dinner just to see what the game was. And I think we hung out ever since.
We did. And then the pandemic hit months later. Yeah, we just started doing stuff together because of the pandemic. It was like we kept in touch during the pandemic, and that's how it became. Our friendship solidified. Like, yeah. I think I've now known you like 3 years.
Yeah, but it's weird because 2 of those years were like here, like
right.
Not so much anymore. But when we first started hanging out, like after pandemic, you used to forget how tall I was.
Every time. I always forget. Every time you're tall.
You're tall. Just sit here in my chair.
Yes, I see you guys. We don't see the rest with the famous dresser on
the world's most famous dresser
on YouTube.
It is actually my real dresser. So every time I come out the shower, I'm always like, "Is the camera? Is the camera on?"
Oh my god, that's so funny.
That'd be an OnlyFans situation.
They call me Fluffy. Thank you, Matt. Like Fluffy. What's his name?
Yeah, exactly.
They have another question for us, Flobo. Yeah. What is James's best quality and James' same quality to you in verse?
Oh, the best quality of James. There are just so many qualities. I just don't know. I always commend someone who gets things done. And I know, and that's like, granted, yeah, I'm a creative, and what does that really mean? But like, how many times you have with friends who goes, oh, I would love to do this, or I would love to do that. Just yesterday, I was making fun of James, in fact. I'll be honest with you, because this dude had like 12 different careers. He was a nurse. He was in the insurance world. I mean, this dude was a DJ. He was a content creator. And he did all that, and is an artist, and writes books. And you're in book, what, 64? 65 now?
63, I think 64, yeah.
What the this is what I'm talking about. And so when you have people from your hood being like, man, someday when I leave this hood, I'm going to do this. He's actually doing it while being in the hood. You're like, well, damn. I like the hell out of that. That's pretty cool.
What I love about Flobo is he reminds me of my family in New York. We were talking about Brooklyn earlier. We have some Brooklynites in here.
Hey, yo.
We have somebody from, from Flatbush, whatever we're talking about.
Let's go, Mets. Yeah, I'm from Flatlands myself. I say Flatbush if you don't know Flatlands, but I'm from Flatlands.
So if you guys know where that Flatlands is, yes. Yes, I'm a very loyal person. Flobo will tell you, I'm a very loyal person. Yeah. If you're in my circle, you're in. Think about Flobo, but first of all, we always talk things out. If we ever have a disagreement or something, he pushes me to talk it out because I'll get quiet for a second, but we'll talk it out. That's one of the qualities. But he reminds me of my family in New York. He reminds me the way he talks, the way he acts, and my New York family is very special, and most of them died out. So you remind me of that. You remind me when I saw he has an episode of one of his shows with his brother, and when I saw that show. It's like that's my family right there in that. It's right there. It's like it's just the way you guys
talk about that episode.
I love that episode.
So my entire family's camera shy, but I wanted to do something big for one of my shows. What's Up Flobo episode 100, and my brother's like, "Yo, man, I'll do your show." And so I recorded, and you think this guy was like proper in the basement with his hand like his shoulder? No, he was in the car sipping jungle juice from the street, like. Yo, your boy's proud of you, Nick. You're like, what? What are you doing? It was terrible.
But you can tell he loves you, and it's like in that brotherly New York sort of way. Like it's not mushy and everything, but he's proud of you. He's proud of you, and it's just they brought a tear to my eyes. Like I had lost my brother, so the brother I was super close to. So it's like that's kind of cool to have this kind of having. He was very New York. He was very New York.
Oh yeah.
That's just like I love my New York. My New York family. That's my magic city. So that's my magic city. That's right. New York. Leopardus thanks you for liking a fan art of us.
Oh yeah, that was pretty cool. I never had fan art before, so that was kind of a nice cool. I actually hit
Oh.
up James like, oh, milestones. I'm famous now.
So sugar leopardess.
Leopardess, female leopard.
Go to, I'll put right here. Well, she just sent me to buy you a coffee.
Ooh.
For you, but he's on there too under Flobo Boyce, right?
Yeah.
So Leopardess, you want to go ahead and buy him a coffee directly and follow him. Here's the link.
Oh, that's me.
But if you don't get there, I'll buy him a coffee anyway. But that's also you can follow him too.
As long as we're shilling things, there we go.
Yes. I would have never taken Flobo for a New Yorker. He's actually nice.
Oh, I get that a lot too. You know what's funny about that? Because I came, okay, so when I graduated high school, I went down to the South, North Florida for college. And people say, oh, no, Florida's the South. I go, North Florida is. It is Georgia too. And besides the sir and ma'am dynamic or whatever, I learned at a very young age I had to be, this is kind of messed, make it deep, but an ambassador for Black people. Because no one had really seen brothers before in the area I went to school with. So it was always like, I would love to get mad at somebody. You know what I mean? I had my own box cutter when I graduated, because we were a box cutter culture. We didn't have guns. I had my own box cutter, but I'd be like, no, let's talk it out. I had peer negotiation training in high school. And so a lot of people say, you don't sound like you're from Brooklyn, especially when I broadcast. So I actually respect that, because my brother calls me or I hang out with James, it comes out sometimes.
It does. So that's why I love it. They said, oh, these ones are where in North Florida?
St. Augustine. I went to Flagler College, class of 07. So it's the no man's land between Jacksonville and Daytona.
Well, he's in Florida. I don't know where you are in Florida.
Oh, yeah. Well, St. Augustine's very popular. Everyone knows what that is. Yeah.
He's like a content creator. He does a lot of soap work, and he's a big Black man.
Yeah.
He's constant. He also we get a question. He got all these questions for us. It's so funny. I didn't expect this part.
Okay, yeah, me neither.
So what's one of the disagreements you've had where you guys worked it out quickly and it helps grow your friendship?
I don't know. We had so many disagreements. I don't know what I can't think of.
Speaker like married people. I mean, I think it's just a lot of times we both talk fast. Is number one.
Yeah,
that's a New York thing. I mean, we talk fast. Get out there. I think sometimes we're two different generations. I think sometimes we don't understand each other sometimes.
Oh yeah.
At first, we have to. So when we talk, we have to clarify it, and once we clarify it, then it's like, oh, now I see what you're saying, or now I know what you mean.
Right.
Is there really one big, like, gigantic blowout?
I think the thing the last couple of weeks is just me saying, dude, I am the worst content creator ever. You're like, you're not. I'm like, I'm washed up, James. No, you're not. No, I'm just terrible. I quit. You can't quit.
You see, because Flobo's neurotic. Flobo's neurotic. That's the problem. I'm not. I'm just like, I get over stuff really fast. I'm just like, next, whatever. But there's times when I'm like, I don't understand what he'll say something. I don't understand what he's saying, maybe. And then I admit I'll get quiet for a second, but he makes us talk it out. That's why I like about that. Because like they will keep talking. He's like, no, I just want to know what you're saying. I want to understand. I guess that's what it is. But we bicker all the time on stuff just because we do.
Yeah.
And I'm blunt. I'm a blunt person. I know I am. I know who I am. And that's that can get people sometimes in a weird way too. Because me and Tony, we bicker all the time too.
Yeah, you guys bicker differently though.
Yeah, we bicker differently. We do. Mm-hmm. But no, Flo and I, it's like he's like the little brother I never wanted or something.
Oh, thanks, man.
He's like the little brother I'm attracted to. So that's kind of weird, also. So it's kind of weird.
I think.
So it's kind of weird. They want to know what part of Flatbush?
I'm from Flatlands. So technically it's like the border of Flatlands and Flatbush. So Flatbush and Kings Highway. So St. Thomas Aquinas, Laying and John's Pizza. You go further down, it's the Kings Plaza side. But I say Flatlands because like no one claims that neighborhood because it borders like more famous neighborhoods like Canarsie, Marine Park, Mill Basin, Flatbush. But you know what? Damn it, I'm gonna be the first Flatlands representing area out there. So why not, man?
Black Ops like New Yorkers are nice contracted popular, I believe, yes. He's like, he had a box cutter, definitely New Yorker. That's hilarious. I
mean, look, people had guns. Who could afford those things? You know what I'm saying? I couldn't.
You went to college at UNF.
I took my GRE in UNF. Yeah. So like I remember when they built the overpass. So back then it used to be like a little like stone statue like on the ground, like UNF, turn right. And they had built the overpass when I was there in the mid 2000s. I overshot it. So I almost got late to my own GRE test. I almost didn't get to grad school because of the infrastructure in Northern Florida. But yeah, when we were living in St. Augustine, we would go to Jacksonville to party all the time. That was kind of the deal.
So James Lott Jr., my grandmother and them moved to Fort Hamilton Parkway, to West Fort Hamilton Parkway. So I get off the F train right there, and literally around the corner, Ocean Avenue, and actual Prospect Park. The actual Prospect Park and Prospect Park was right there. But she was on West Fourth between Caton Avenue and Fort Hamilton Parkway. I used to go there all the time and hang out over there and Park Slope, and we did all kinds of stuff. Then I had a grandmother who was in Crown Heights. A lot of Hasidic Jews over there. She was in Crown Heights. And then downtown Brooklyn, we used to always go to Junior's Cheesecake over there. That was a thing. My uncles went to Bed-Stuy High School. They were actually sent over there. My mother's actually from Spanish Harlem, 101st and Lexington. And so, but he was super smart. They'd have words for it back then, I guess. And they sent him to Bed-Stuy. So, which was kind of rough too a little bit. So it's kind of a weird thing going on there too. My mother's all from Spanish Harlem, all over there. I actually years later did a tour. I FaceTimed her and showed her all her old PS52 and JHS 75 and HS 132. I mean, New York is very like they did a lot of things like that back then.
Yeah, I had 234 in my case, PS 118. Yes.
I'm surprised me calendars had a bakery. That's the whole point. The film Big Marie Calendars is a bakery. It's a
when I moved to California and I was doing the whole bachelor mode, I didn't want to cook my own food. Like the Marie Calendar chicken pot pies, that was my jam. Yes. That was my jam. Yeah.
Yes. Went to Samuel J. Tilden High School in Brooklyn.
I went to Madison.
I wanted to tell you, thank you so much for sponsoring me to attend James' soap party. Oh yeah, DC, yes. Yes, that's good. You Hardys are big, wonderful people who've been supporting each other for my 10 events now that I have. I'm so glad you guys are just taking to this like I'm humbled, overwhelmed by it all, basically, to tell you the truth. Flobo and I talked about this yesterday. So what'd you say? You were saying something about how I do have an army of fans, don't I?
The Rihanna Navy.
Rihanna Navy, that's like a beehive.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like you guys have these parties or you have these live and people come through. Like it's what 9:48 in the West Coast, lunchtime in the East Coast, and people taking time out their day to say what's up. It's always awesome.
I know, because we are all content creators. We all want this. DC knows this too. We want people to follow you and buy into your brand. It's not easy to do. I'm working hard for the last 15 years in this shit, so I'm very happy it's coming around. And I am tired, kids. The Heights movie, not so great. I saw the play on Broadway, the bomb.
Is it because of the colorism thing, or
yes,
the show is
it's the colorism thing. As an Afro-Latino, I'm offended by most of that stuff.
Wow.
And what's his name should know better. He should know better.
But I mean,
well, he's light-skinned, so of course.
I was like colorism in Latin America.
You know it. As I said, I'm offended by all of it. Yes,
I'm offended by all of it. All of it.
I love Popeye too, folks. I love me a Popeye. Don't get me started. KFC's Popeyes are the bomb. Don't sleep on those. They are the bomb.
Oh, I haven't had that in a while though.
Me neither.
I gotta see if it's still good.
They're still good. Well, that's why I had it was still good.
Okay.
It was good. Me and Rick got one. It was delicious. There was a question or something there. But yeah, so sign up for my events, folks. Sign up for my events. I had 10 of them going on. And we have one. Me and Flobo are doing one. So spend your New Year's with us. I mean, just like this, New Year's Day.
Because it's my favorite holiday. James like, we're doing New Year's Day. And I go, no, we're doing this live soon. I was like, all right.
I didn't even ask him. I just told him what we're gonna do. So you guys, because of that, you got to join us. It's just like this, but private.
Yeah.
So DC is Cuban and Haitian. Oh, okay, Cuban.
And Haitian. Wow, yeah. Well, I mean, no. All with due respect to the Cuban side, but the Haitian side, I mean, Hispaniola is like, we don't really know. Like, it's a weird vibe, bro. I'm West Indian too, but I'm from the Anglo side, and even then, it's like white, red, light skin, black, different shades, different stratas. It's weird, man.
Yeah, we've both been to Dominican Republic, and it's very strange how it's the same island.
Oh yeah.
But you wouldn't know it.
They're like, no conozco a Haiti. Like, really? Because it's right next door. Oh, no saying. Like, for real?
And there's no real border. It's just a little river, and that's it. Yeah. There's no real border. You just walk across, and there you go. Yeah. Marie Calendar. Get your Marie Calendars. My peach pie was the bomb because they're coming to my peach pie that I had.
I'm trying to ask DC Soap for some Bala Barbancourt if he's Haitian.
There you go, Haitian.
You got some? Let me know.
DC's a good-looking black man. He's another good-looking black man. I was like, okay, work it out. That's why Cuban and Haitian. Okay, I got it.
Probably got rhythm.
5. I've lived in some Hispanic countries. Colorism is rampant. It is. Dominicans and Haitians. Oh yeah. Woo. They don't mess with each other. I just asked Flobo to buy you a coffee. That's so funny. So she said, so now you got a new follower. So she's asking me to buy me a coffee, and then I buy you a coffee. So when we see each other next time, we buy each other a coffee.
I can actually buy you a physical coffee. You're right down the street.
I know. That's exactly. We'll do the first.
I'll make
a video of it and do and tag you in it. There you go. Matt Litchfield, the rain from Ian is starting to move into Charlottesville. Are you guys? It's not a category 5 anymore, 4 anymore, is it? Right? It's down to
tropical depression. Last I saw.
Tropical depression. I'm depressed too because we have no tropical out here. Oh, like hello.
That's that kind of depression.
Yeah, I know, but I'm depressed anyway because it's fucking. I want some rain.
Wow.
Barbary court. I don't drink. My parents may have some.
I like how I just met this guy today. I'm like, yo, ask your mom and dad for some of your booze. I'm sorry.
Because you're West Indian. That's why you asked. You know how that goes.
Hello, good night. You got rum? Hello, good night.
You know how it is. We have no shame. Oh, please, we have no shame. Nobody has me a shame. Please, at all. It's no. It's barely a depression.
Oh, barely depression? Okay.
What's under that? Just rain?
Yeah.
What's under a depression? Right? Eyes only. I got your messages on. Were you watching you were watching my show last night? Oh, so Flobo did a live show last night.
Oh wow.
For She-Hulk.
Oh yeah.
All of a sudden, a shootout happens right across my alley, and all of a sudden the helicopters come up. It's like during I go, "Hi everybody, I'm sorry right now. We just had a shooting over here." So eyes only.
A shoot like 2 guns going back.
Yeah, gun shooting. Yeah.
What? that is sort of an LA story right there.
Yeah, no, tell me. I was on air. I go, I'm really sorry for the helicopters going over my house.
You continue the show, dude. I would cover. I would not be that weatherman. We're here in Englewood, pop, 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 and we're having a shootout. So anyway, She-Hulk was great.
I grew up with shootings.
We're making content, bro.
I want the views. If something happens, there'll be big views. James's last show, Flobo. Wouldn't that be amazing?
Yeah, no, it wouldn't. That's the premium content I don't want to see.
See, this is me and Flobo all the time. I'm thinking big. He's thinking my safety. I'm like, safety.
How dare I think of your safety?
Exactly. I'm like, this is good content. Shit. My child, your grandfather would treat. I'm trying to get your sentence. The child goes,
so basically her baby daddy's dead?
I guess
his baby daddy's dead?
He was darker than his older brother. Okay. Well, I kind of get what you're trying to say, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And West Indian, yes. Oh, yeah. Tell them where you're from.
I'm from Brooklyn, but my parents are Bayesian. They came in the 1970s, so before the big influx. And they're from Barbados. And we also enjoy our rum. You know what I'm saying?
Barbados, folks, you know what that means. He didn't tell you what country. He just said Bayesian, like everybody knows what that is.
I just said my parents are Bayesian. They came from Barbados in the 1970s. You were not paying attention. I said both ways. You know what? I can't work with you like this. You bring me on the show and you totally tune me out. No, I'm just kidding. It's fine. Me and Rihanna high five all the time.
They're laughing the way I said it, like it was a cousin or something. I'm sorry. I grew up with shootings. I'm not saying it. I'm not taking it super light. But I'm like, my windows are way over there.
Okay, yeah, I get you chilling on the block, but you're actually doing a She-Hulk after show. There's certain things you could just stop.
Oh Lord, those Bayesians.
Whoa! You can't be doing this. I ain't gonna start, y'all.
I can tell already. Flobo does have personality, so follow him at Flobo Boyce, Flobo.com. Follow him. See what he's doing on. Bug him to death or some James sent you. My family's from St. Eustatius, also West Indian. I've been to Barbados. I've been to his family's homeland. I had a great time there. We're Puerto Rican and West Indian on that side. So I understand that also. You've been to Barbados too. You loved it for a minute. Oh, he's smiling. I loved it for many reasons.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, you love it for many reasons. Okay, Black Love's my age, 53.
Okay. Oh, and then that's say less. I got you.
Yeah, say go.
Different time.
Yeah, so you said you had a good time there. Okay, I have a friend there. Flobo name. Last name is Barker.
Probably from the middle of the island. Yeah. So like our area, there's a lot of Boyces, Brooms, Griffiths on the high locations, but Barkers and husbands and stuff like that. Totally other side.
Oh wait a minute! Oh Lord, those Puerto Ricans.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Say less. Yeah, yo, Puerto Ricans, bro, especially coming up in New York, it was like two different divisions. There was the West Indian side, and then there was the Caribbean, though, people who speak Spanish side, and there were different walks of life in New York City, but we won't get into that.
Yeah, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Oh no,
I wasn't.
he wasn't. We're crazy. You know, I mean, like, hello. I admit all that. I'm like, geez, my Puerto Rican side comes out all the time. Trust and believe it does.
One time I had.
Go ahead.
Now I had you on the show. You're like, you have same stations. You're Puerto Rican. You're Dutch. You're Cajun, Arcadian. Like you're all, but you have all the fiery parts of every single one.
I do have all of them. I do. Every single one. You know, it was funny because I'm also part of this. I'm part of this thing called Asians in Insurance. They're like, how are you in there? I go, my godparents were Asian. They were Chinese and Japanese. I grew up. I knew Cantonese as a child. So it's weird.
Chinese and Japanese?
Chinese and Japanese, yeah. And they got married at a time. My picture on here, you guys, is from the wedding. I was 7 years old.
Wow.
And I was a little kid in the wedding, back in 1976. And they were not supposed to get married. They did Chinese Japanese and get married back then. It was a whole big deal. But they grew up with my parents and they became my godparents. And I grew up with the whole culture. So I know Chinese culture, Japanese culture, and of course being Dutch. I know Dutch culture. I know some Dutch. The Creole side. I grew up with the Louisiana side, all over the place. All over the place. I grew up with that. And then of course the other side of family was like New York. It was Puerto Rican, it was West Indian, and we also have some American Indian, indigenous in me also. I grew up with all of that. Plus, and then up to being in LA and being in New York or being in places where it was multicultural. So I grew up with all of that.
Just for those watching the stream, when it went just me, he was showing a picture of when he was a kid, and we had the picture of the wedding or so. Yeah.
Yes. What do you think of Angela Johnson? I love her.
Yeah, she's good.
I was not a fan of her Bonquiqui stuff back in the day. I thought it was offensive, but I like her as a comedian.
Mm-hmm.
The jokes is since they say all Haitians do voodoo.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've heard that. Well, Cajun, Creole also down in Louisiana, same thing. Me and my cousin, my famous cousin Christian LeBlanc, we're talking about that on the show together. About how Louisiana especially is very mystical, magical. I don't know, have you ever been there? You ever been to New Orleans?
No, it's actually one of the cities I want to go on my U.S. bucket list.
You're like, it's an old world city. And it's just, I love it. It just everywhere you go, it's just very like, you just know there's history. But it's also a mixed history. And he and I talked about that also. And, you know, he looks on the whiter side of things, I look on the blacker side of things, but we come from the same family. And it's very much, when you go down there, they take paper bags and you see if you're darker than that paper bag, you're not accepted. If you're lighter, they're accepted. It's a weird,
there's like an actual shade of tolerance.
Yes.
Wow.
It's called the brown paper bag syndrome. And it's a very real thing in Louisiana. It's very strange. And it's very interesting. So I grew up with that. I grew up in my family. My grandmother looked like an old Russian lady. But she was blackity black. You have one drop, you're black. That was her whole thing. I had cousins half Filipino. They're like, Aunt Bertha, what are we, black?
Right.
You'd be like blonde hair. What am I, black? I mean, she did not play. She was always about you're black.
Yeah.
And we come from slavery. We come from all kind of stuff down there. So it's a very interesting mix. But I think if you go there, I think you'll find the food at the bomb. First of all, the bomb. I make gumbo and all stuff all because of that.
Yeah.
You would love it. You can't have shellfish, but it's a lot of it's a very interesting city to walk around in and take in.
Yeah, that's actually on the list of cities I want to check out before I transcend.
Go to your other assignments.
Yeah.
Assignments. like where you going?
Wait, there's no baseball team in New Orleans, or there's no professional baseball team in New Orleans, but I'm trying to do the whole baseball tourism thing, so I get there eventually.
Well, one day, maybe you get invited down there. Maybe one of your esports things maybe will happen. New Orleans is a destination.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Esports, wrestling, all the things I can get down there for.
Yeah, I'll see that. Well, apparently the law says black blood makes you black. Not sure if they abolished that or something. That'd be interesting. Yeah. Oh yeah, the Essence music festivals are down there usually, yes. I tell my boyfriend all the time that I'm Haitian and that we're known to turn people into cats, which is how I got my current cat. It's my former ex.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I'll make sure I don't piss you off or anything.
Yeah, if my ex was a cat,
I don't want to be a cat. I don't want to be a cat.
What would you want to be then?
I don't know.
If you were hexed and cursed from an ex, what animal would you want to be?
I want to be a plant.
That's not an animal though.
No. I don't know. I gotta think about that. I gotta think about that. I'm thinking living thing. I'm thinking living thing.
Fair enough.
I don't think it, but you're right. It's not an animal.
No.
Like, well, okay, first of all, we know you're playing. I mean, I don't
imagine though.
I imagine though. Well, half my exes would be. Yeah. Anyway. I've been on tours in New Orleans. You felt people's energies. No, I mean seriously, it's that kind. Savannah, Georgia was that way also. I love Savannah. It was another other old world city.
Charleston too.
Yeah, exactly. They have that feel. They just have that feel. And I did a speaking engagement there, down there, and I loved it. So just one of those things. That just certain cities you can feel the age.
Yeah, I've been to Savannah once because at the time they were a rival school for us. So SCAD, Savannah Carlos Art and Design.
Yeah,
I've been there once. But
SCAD. Yes, I know. Well, see, my niece went to. Oh my God, she always went to SCAD. Mm-hmm. She ended up going to
Elon
design place in Florida. Shit.
Ringling?
Yes, that's where she went.
Oh, nice. Oh, okay.
And he's Jamie Lee, who just had a baby. I'm an uncle again, little Jesse John, a 9-pound big ass baby. She goes, I pushed out a beast. I mean, you sure did 9 pounds. Yeah.
I always want to be an uncle.
I'll say not uncle. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a great uncle. I'm a great uncle at this point.
Dang.
I know my family. They procreate like rabbits.
Congrats.
No, that's not congrats.
Oh, boo.
Yeah, exactly. All our fathers were Rolling Stones. You get what I mean? They gathered more than moss. Let's see. New Orleans seems like pronounce gumbo and baby. And New Orleans, that's so funny. We should all plan trips to New Orleans. Sure. It's all plan trips to New Orleans.
I've had a vegetarian gumbo and vegetarian. It's pretty fun.
Okay.
I'm sorry. You can't say I'll have just chicken only. It's always like it has to be everything or nothing at all.
No, that part's true. But I mean, I'm like chicken gumbo, but you can't have shell. I know you can't have shellfish.
Wait, hold on. You hate chicken now too, or just hate chicken gumbo?
Chicken gumbo.
Okay, I was about to say. I was like,
well, I'm black. I love chicken.
I didn't know. You got some weird food taste, my friend.
That part's true. That part is true. But no, I like with some chicken. You can get rid of chicken. Okay. Because chicken gumbo to me feel like it's lackluster. Like, where's the shrimp? No. That's not anything when I eat chicken gumbo.
Shrimp doesn't even taste good. Sometimes you kind of like, oh, I can have one. You're like, this is not even worth the closing up of my esophagus. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die right.
What does Flobo think of James's shows? Has Flobo watched DC? You have to watch. I don't normally watch that. We did Marlene Possessed by a Devil, and we did
Peter August.
Which one? Peter August. So he did watch. Okay, wait. This is Flobo's question. So go ahead, Flobo.
So I watch soaps? No, and I always tell people that when I was a kid, when I was on the island of Barbados with my cousins, we would watch Days of Our Lives in the 90s, but the content was from the 80s. So like the dude from The Nanny was like still on the show, like Mr. Stronos Odyssey or whatever. So I didn't really know it, but James had these lines of show calls. I don't normally watch that. And so he gave me some episodes of Days of Our Lives, I believe. Not Days of Our Lives. Was Days of Our Lives? The one with Mardevil on it. We did Mardevil. And we did.
He liked Mardevil. He liked Mardevil.
Yo, Mardevil was kind of cute. I mean, not when she's not possessed, but when she is possessed. Yeah. And then we did General Hospital with Peter August.
Yes, Peter August.
And it was the most dumbest villain I've ever seen in my life. I go, this guy was on for months, and people had to watch this dude. Like, it was dumb. But yeah, for what I've seen, it was cool. And the people loved the fact that I had no idea what the hell I was watching, rolling into it. So. They
want him back all the time. They loved his take on because he's fresh meat. So you're right, DC. He is a WWE guy, and he does wrestling stuff. And when I go on his shows, I'm a hit over there also because I just see things totally different than they do.
So I had a wrestling show. We canceled it, or it was on hiatus because one of the shows that we used to review doesn't air anymore, NXT UK. And so, hey, James, come on in some of these matches. I'm thinking, okay, he's a soap opera guy. He's gonna talk about the storylines and the pathos. This guy's like, he hot, she's not hot. She's like a dude. This guy has abs. You're like, bro, what are you doing? But the chat was like, yeah, James, hello, how it is. James. Like, hello.
Flobo, to my credit, also. I talked about the matches.
Mm-hmm. But we don't care about that. They didn't care about that part.
They didn't, but I did. I had notes. I had notes. And I talked about the matches.
Yeah.
But when I said, so the favorite line of Flobo's shows that I've done, I said, I don't know how you watch this because I'm wet.
Yeah.
That's what I said. Everybody loved it.
And I was like, I'm a professional wrestling interviewer. I should be wet too. No, I'm just kidding.
I said I was wet. It's the devil contacts, as Matt says. It's the devil.
That's what I'm saying. Yo, Martha, what's going on? Listen, I understand you possessed right now, girl, but you want to have some time, let me know. I'll take you to a hot restaurant and everything.
Oh my God. What is Flobo's favorite wrestler? Oh, tell him.
Of all time, D'Lo Brown was my favorite of all time. Now, currently, I'm a big Sheamus guy, the most decorated person on the roster. But a lot of the NXT UK guys don't get a lot of credit. So I always say Ashton Smith. He's Jamaican British. I always give him a little bit of credit and love and all that stuff. So yeah, like my brothers.
Carmelo.
The thing is, Carmelo's the future. He is the man. He's the future. He's all swag. He is very much an attractive man. Seriously, I will say that. No, I will say, I'm like, you know what? If I had pecs like that, bro, I'll be dating people all the time. So
he's hot.
And he came up to us at WrestleMania and said our show was really cool. So I'm a lifelong fan of Carmelo Hayes. I wish he had new merch though.
Yeah, I did say hot. Everybody's laughing at me. I did say wet. I did.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching because what Flobo says, okay, you come on my show, but you got to watch 3 hours of wrestling one night and then an hour or so on another.
2 in 1, yeah.
That's right. So I'm watching basically a week's worth of wrestling, and I'm just like, the chicks are hot, the dudes are hot, everybody's sweaty and just bulges and legs, and I'm just like, oh, cheese and crackers. And I ain't gotten it in 2.5 years. So I'm like, I was completely wet the whole time I watched it.
Sex is overrated. It smells weird.
Everybody's overrated. Everybody flopping around. It's not pretty or anything. I was an Undertaker fan. D'Lo Brown, I felt, was rampant during the Altitude Era.
That's what I'm talking about. Attitude Era. Yes, exactly. Actually, I have an action figure of D'Lo Brown over there on the side of my room. Just because how cool he was. And he was a brother and he had a little bit of heft to him. He's a thick boy. And as a kid growing up, I was like, that's my guy.
What are Flobo's favorite soap? He doesn't watch soaps.
I didn't watch soaps, but as a kid, I was a fan of The City with Morgan Fairchild. That lasted like 6 weeks. I think it was like the Pulse version of Loving. That was a cool one. But then CW had those primetime soaps. That kind of counts. Like Devils is on now. I think it's pretty soapy. And then the revival of Dynasty. I watched a couple episodes of that. That was kind of cool. Who
was your favorite WWF wrestler from the 80s?
I got into wrestling in '93. So I mean, I was born. But I would say from the 80s era, going back to it, Savage. I think Savage is one of my favorite guys from the 80s going back.
Roddy Piper.
Piper was a good one, but he was like more of a thinking man's wrestler. I feel like as an adult, I would appreciate him more. But like as a kid watching 80s wrestling with my dad,
The Flow was the 1% who watched The City. They're laughing.
It was so unapologetically 90s. It was like Attitude coming up next at 1:30 in the afternoon. The City. You're like, wow.
People are going, come on, Rick Martel, Razor Raymond, Mr. Perfect. Rick, we were all fine.
When I was a kid, my first
from the 80s, he's from the 90s.
My first ever heel, though, the first ever bad guy I was a fan of was Rick Martel. If you remember, he came out with the little the lavender trunks and had a little thing, and I'll give you that. Mr. Perfect, he got some meat on him, sure.
Yes, but remember he was born in the 80s. He came out in the 90s. I'm from the 80s. I was an adult watching all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I mean. I love that. I love it. It was just such a crazy era, and it was mixing it with music, and it was a whole. And MTV was coming big. It was a whole different world.
Yeah, City Hopper.
He missed all that. He wasn't there for all that.
Rock and wrestling, they called it. Rock
and wrestling. That's right. Did you watch Flamingo? He wasn't around he wasn't born yet.
I did not, but I could go back because again, I mean, if Morgan Fairchild's half as hot as Devil back then.
I know Morgan Fairchild, so it's kind of funny.
Who don't you know? This guy. And you would drop names all the time. My famous friend Morgan.
They do. They always laugh at me on here. I drop names. I don't give shit. I do.
Oh, come on. This guy. I know everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I do because I prove people like, that way. I know the person too.
Mm-hmm.
DC. I just looked up Carmelo Hayes and I agree with Flobo.
The thing is about he's a perfect shade of brown. He's an attractive man, but like as a guy that doesn't like guys, he has so much confidence. I'm like, bro, sell me some of that. That's what I prefer. I am the A champion.
How old is Flobo? It's up to him to answer that if he wants to.
This past June I turned 37, so I'm not young, but I'm not old either.
It's a baby. 37. I'm like, wow, I remember that year. Who's your favorite tag team? Mine was the Hardy Boys.
As a kid, I was a Dudley's fan, but in the modern era, the Bar when they were together. Now I don't really have much as tag team these days.
It's the swag with Carmelo for me. Is what he says. Like,
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, he got it. He got it, bro.
oh yeah, Morgan Fairchild's face has changed over the years. No, I'm not offended.
Don't do that to me. I'm not looking it up then.
Yeah, don't grow up now. No, it looks a little different now. Some folks have too much plastic surgery. Is what happens sometimes.
I had plastic surgery.
Yeah, actually, you did. Like,
I did, but it wasn't my face though.
It was.
Imagine surgery. This is acting up my face.
I've had no work done, so let's get it worked out. Black don't crack.
Black don't crack.
Yes, Dudley's 3D.
That's a finishing move, the 3D.
Okay, I know what that was. I didn't expect you guys to ask these questions. That's so funny. They're all coming. We're talking wrestling kids. It's all new.
I could tell a story about me and the Dudleys and how I use that. I use that for now. So when I was a kid in Brooklyn, there was a place called Fun Time USA. It was on Knapp Street. It was like an indoor amusement park, like a vertical Chuck E. Cheese.
Oh.
And the Dudley boys was trying to get autographs. And I remember asking my mom to let me go. She goes, cool. I was in line for 2 hours. I get to the front of the line. Guy goes, hey, where's your ticket? I go, I never got a ticket. He goes, sorry, back at the line. So I'm going back to the line. A guy sees me sad, gives me a ticket. So I'm on line for 3 hours to the Dudley boys. And I won't forget this. Bubba Ray / Bully Ray was like so bored and jaded. He didn't even look up when he signed the autograph. He was like, here you go. And I was so devastated that I was online and didn't get any kind of like love or appreciation. But then Devon took my autograph. He goes, what's going on, brother? And I was like, oh, I'm a big fan. He goes, oh man, you know what? Thanks so much for coming out. I appreciate you. Signed one photo. He goes, look, I'm going to be at Madison Square Garden next week. Hope to see you there. Knowing full well he's not going to see a little kid there. And I go, that's important. So I told myself from that point on, one, to hell with Bubba Ray Dudley. But two, if I ever became famous or if I ever had to sign autographs, give people their moment, man. They took up the time out of their schedule, no matter how their lives are, to come see you. Give some of that love back. And if you're tired, don't show up. If you're hungry, don't go to the thing. And I still think about that story today. So.
I like that story. So what was Flo's favorite WWE or WWF storyline?
I was a big King of the Ring fan. I like the fact that it was a tournament every June, my birthday month, to see who's going to be the next one. But Austin McMahon was a big one. I thought that was pretty cool. I love the Ted DiBiase, Cameron Grimes storyline from the pandemic on NXT when they brought back the $1 Million Championship. And then they brought back Ted DiBiase. It's kind of one of my favorite storylines. But I'm actually more of a character person when it's all said and done.
Oh, okay. Who would be your dream wrestling match?
Like to watch or to fight?
Sherry, that's the question to you. What would your dream wrestling match be?
With the current roster, if we actually got Finn Balor versus Roman Reigns again, like straight up, like a 2 out of 3 falls or a ladder match, that to me would be enough. I don't need to be crazy.
Razor Ramon and Rick Martel would have been a great tag team.
It's Razor Ramon.
Ramon. Sorry.
Razor Ramon. I mean, he wasn't Hispanic. Just pretend he was.
Back in the day, folks, all kind of things happen, right?
Yeah.
Not the hell with Bubba Ray Dudley. They're laughing.
No, hell with them, bro.
Are there any black gay wrestlers? There's a guy. Oh my God, Michael.
Yeah. Yeah, Andrew Bones is the most prolific one. Quincy Elliott's now to NXT. Sonny Kiss is on AEW sparingly. There's one more. What I like about wrestling now, it really is about self-expression. So why not?
Well, he knows who my favorite WWE diva is. But what is yours?
So I gotta be nerdy. Do you mean female wrestler or do you mean a diva from the diva period?
Oh, okay.
Because like there was a time where women wrestlers were called divas and then they stopped doing that. From that era, I was a big Lita fan. The diva era, I thought Lita was my favorite one. Molly Holly was a good one. Right now, currently, a big Bailey guy. I think I have more Bailey merch than anyone else.
Mandy Rose. Okay.
I think we're a Sasha guy.
And Sasha, I love you, Sasha. Really, Flobo, what work did you have? Oh, what work did you have done? What's on his face?
Yeah. Check out my book, Graduation Day, available now at all bookstores and Amazon. I go into more detail about that. And Graduation Day. But long story short, I used to be very heavy. I used to weigh 375 pounds and I lost 150 pounds. So I had a lot of excess skin and I had a lot of skin in my gut to the point where I couldn't even work out because it was like, basically it was like having a giant boob, right? on your gut. Like it will pull you down every time. So I had plastic surgery to get 6 or 7 pounds of skin removed. It's called a fleur-de-lis. amnioplasty or a complex tummy tuck. So I have a scar that runs from my breastbone to, and both sides of my hips. And they basically filleted you, cut the skin off, and sewed you back in. But I actually do have a plastic surgery, which is pretty cool to say.
Yeah. The WD did a lot of homoerotic storylines. They were ahead of their time.
Yeah, sometimes it was done for comedy, but I would say so. Yeah.
What did Flo think of the WCW ECW invasion?
Great idea, but poor execution. Where everyone thinks about putting two toys together, but James, when it's crossovers, it only has to be one writer's room, and someone ends up looking better than the other. So that's what happened then.
That's so I'm gonna stop for a second for that one. So crossovers are always tricky. Why not? Bone People had one right now. They have one. They just had one, and they can be. You have two different teams going. You have two different teams, different styles, having to come together to make this thing work. Yeah. And sometimes it just doesn't. One works better than the other, or just doesn't. You have to be really careful when you do that. You have to.
Right. Yeah, because you end up like betraying the essence.
Yeah, or something, right? It's just weird. Oh my God, that was crazy. Okay. What else do you watch?
Nothing at all. So I got in so deep into wrestling because let me stop down. So not only do I at a time have my own podcast and I'm a wrestling fan, I have to watch wrestling for another podcast I do called Mac Mania. So it got to a point where I was doing like 15 hours of wrestling a week, and that got to be too much. But I do like the Star Trek series, the new ones. I like New Trek. I'll defend New Trek. I actually have a show called Commander's Log where I go into that stuff. I got back into baseball really hardcore this year. I mean, I still was a huge fan, but I bought the TV package. So now I watch the games multiple times a week to get myself cleared away from that. And as a Black man, I really feel like we have to give back to something that seems to be being erased from our history here in the country. So I try to watch more baseball as well. So Star Trek, sci-fi, baseball, let's go Mets, and wrestling is my thing.
Very good. So Flobo, we understand you physically lost weight.
Yeah.
How was the psychological process of it? And do you still deal with it today?
Okay, so that is a very tough. How much time do we have, man?
We got time. I'm like, I was like, Flobo to cry. He won't cry like I do. I cry at everything.
I try not to. When I cry, I go, I gotta go. And I know men can cry. I'm not saying we can't, but I don't want it because I cried every day when I was a kid. I got teased a lot. So yes, to answer your question, yes. At first, there's a psychological toll of I'm not going to do this. There's nothing I can do to lose weight. I'm just going to be fat forever. I accept this. Then it's I'm losing weight, but no one notices. Am I still a failure? Then it's, hey, look, I lost a size, but I'm from a place where I came from a size where there was less options for clothes. I try to hold on to the same clothes I have or try to spend more money on new clothes. But what if I lose more weight? The first time I bought clothes off the rack at Walmart, cheap clothes, I almost cried because that was something I didn't have. Because you go to a big and tall store like Casual Male, or now it's called DXL now or something like that. Yeah. Their t-shirts are like $50. You have to just accept it because where the hell are you going to go? Then it's the whole, can I maintain it? If I have a donut, is it okay? Then is the people coming out the woodwork and saying, hey, you look attractive. And I go, well, I'm the same personality. Do you guys, was I not attractive before? Am I considered lesser than? So there's a lot of stuff that's there. A lot of my neurosis comes from that. I think dating is hard because when people go, you hot, you go, you don't know, because in my mind's eye, when I look in the mirror, I've full head of hair. I'm still 24 years old, 280 pounds. And so that is something you have to deal with every day because I was fat from the time I was 8 until I was about 29, 30 years old. My whole entire life, I was heavy set.
Yeah, it's as a person also who was fat. I mean, I say I'm fat now, but I was bigger than this at one point. I'm lower 300 pounds, but I was bigger than this a long time ago. And it's weird because it never really goes away. To me, it never goes away. Mm-hmm. You walk through life, I mean, like literally walk through life feeling you're just big. And I've been super skinny. I've been bigger, all this kind of stuff. And it's the craziest thing. And we all have traits that we get teased on. Oh, yeah. Like Deborah was saying, she got teased for being so dark skinned growing up. She shared this chat before on that. Well, do you want to say, was there ever a resentfulness that Flobo may have had towards you after losing weight?
There is a desire to be. There's a because I grew up in the 90s, so there was the Jenny Jones, Ricky Lake, I was a geek, but now I'm chic. You know what I mean?
Oh my God, it's so funny.
But you know what? It is an urge I try really hard to stop because I was on the other side of being dismissed. I will say, I'll be shady. There's some times I'm scrolling Facebook and Instagram. I'm like, you see that chick? That's what happens when you turn me down looking like that.
Okay.
but in public, it's not right to do that because people are trying to maintain. They want to be loved. They want to live, but it is something I have to battle with. Yeah.
My mother said something to me years ago. My mother used to be very tall. She's very tall, statuesque. She was really skinny. Then later she gained weight, but she's still tall. My mother's very, as you know, looks like me. It's very beautiful. I look like her, one or two. But I remember she telling me, she goes, she used to get men all the time. When she was single, she had men all swarming around her. And she said, people like your big fat mama. And I said, and what she was trying to tell me was that, James, no matter what weight you are, your personality is what brings people in. And that could, there are people who just want to be around you sometimes. And there are folks who are attracted to people with weight on them. It's like that kind of thing. Go ahead.
I think it definitely increases as we get older. Because when I was in 1920, and that's why I think people say dating is so hard in your 30s, because when you're 1920, you're like, hey, are you hot? And you like two things I do? Let's make it work. But when you get to be a certain age, it's like, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this. And so, yeah, personality does bring you in. But there's a part of me now, and I struggle with this too, because I'm such a late bloomer when it comes to the women's, that like, I feel like I'm a brand new kid where everyone else is all seasoned, salty, jaded dogs on the open sea trying to settle down. I'm like, no, but wow, I can keep up with people now,
Well, DC, it's funny, when I was a kid, being mixed or lighter skinned, it was either they resented you or you were pedestaled. So it's so being lighter, like my brother, I have siblings who are way lighter than I am. And they would say, I'm medium brown, I'm not even that dark. Medium brown, but it was still this kind of thing like, well, James, you have the good hair.
Mm-hmm.
So I got treated a certain for that. My siblings who were lighter, the white folks didn't want them because they weren't white, and the black folks didn't want them because they seemed like they were white.
Mm-hmm.
We're all called Oreos, we're all called zebras, we're all called all that stuff growing up. But in some cases, the black folks were like, ooh, your sister has green eyes and blondish hair, she's hot.
Yeah.
They're like, but then the girls were like, we hate her because she has blonde hair and greenish eyes, because she thinks she's all that. And we didn't think that way. And so, yeah, Tony, like my mom, you agree with my mom, same thing. I've been thin, I've been fat, I've been both. And it comes down to confidence. It comes down to swagger. It comes down to personality. And people are attracted to that stuff. And, and that's what happened. I mean, and some people like people who are thin. Some people like people who are fat. I've dated a lot of men who are fat or big or considered obese. I like pushing the cushion.
Yeah, I got you. Also, like, if you want to take a step back, it's like everyone, there's so many different types and body types and backgrounds. Right. Not to fetishize anything, but to say, look, it's okay to see what works for you,
Daisy Flower says, I am big, but for parts of body, it makes sense. If I didn't have that weight, I would tip over. Oh, you got some.
Are you like an athlete or something? I don't understand.
Like, what's going on there? Flobo, I'm also a late bloomer, Daisy Flower 40 says.
It is I'll say weird, because I'm not trying to diminish my lifestyle, but it is a unique position to be in, to be a late bloomer in my late 30s going like, how do I date?
Yeah, because we'll talk sometimes and I forget sometimes, like he's not as much experience I think a 36-year-old I would think would have.
Yeah, so to open up everything, because we're doing this for content. By the way, I'm telling y'all some good content. I'm at CashAPP at Flobito.
Y'all put it in there. I put it in there.
So women didn't really find me attractive until I was like 29 years old, and so yeah, I had a girlfriend slightly before that, but it was a girl that I asked out in middle school that turned me down, that basically lived her life and was settling down. So we were the same age. In fact, we're 2 weeks apart, but she had went out, ventured, and came back and knew what she wanted, where I was like, oh, this is my first relationship. And so when that ended, for this reason, because she wanted to escalate, I didn't really know where to go. It was like, well, now what do I want? Because my entire life, I went from being not desired to fitting into a relationship to being, okay, now I can't go with the divorcees. I don't have kids of my own. Can't hang out with that crowd. I'm not 19 years old. I can't go to the clubs. Can't hang out with that crowd. I'm just walking around being like, I watch wrestling for a living. What do you mean you want to go out with her?
I put Flobito's Cash App is in the pinned messages in the chat, so give him a little love. Like that. DC Soul was called, DC Soul, he was called Dark Vader and Blackie Chan. Ugh, okay.
Yeah, we did that too.
And it's just so funny. I always wished I was darker. That's the thing. I love some chocolatey skin. I think dark brown skin is beautiful. And I had some cousins. There was like one little family of cousins in the sea of whiteness in my family.
Yeah.
They were all chocolate.
Yeah.
I just love the mother, father, everybody. They were all. I loved them. I was like, they were so cute and it was so beautiful. Their skin was beautiful, and I just thought. And to this day, I always wish I get little blotches here and there, or whatever, because I'm fucking mixed up. But I wish sometimes I was darker skinned because I just like. I think dark is beautiful. I think black is beautiful. I really do. I am black. I do.
Yeah.
Into all my mixtures, I think black is beautiful, and I hate that people think it's ugly. And there's Leopard saying she wished she wanted to be white when she was a kid. And I know a lot of black kids who felt that way because they're just tired of. Leopard said she was called Black Sambo and buckwheat and all these just terms. They're just like. It's fucked up. And like I said, yeah, zebra. We were called zebra because black and white.
Yeah.
I never heard that before, but that was back in the 70s. Kids would tell I was being bussed out. I was part of segregation. And the white kids would say, why are your parents different colors? Why does your sister have our hair? All this kind of stuff. Like, what does that mean? And so they always say they don't want white kids to know stuff like that. Now I'm like, I was 5 years old going through this. I had to go home to my parents and go, they asked us why our parents are different colors. Like, they had to sit us down and talk to us. And I just think, seriously, I had a couple boyfriends who were black as the night, and I loved it. I couldn't see them, the lights turned off, but I didn't care. I could feel out. I could feel out for them. It was great. I love it, Flobo. I love it. I do. I'm sorry. And that means reverse discrimination, but I don't know. I'm all about the black and the berries, sweet the juice. I'm all in there.
Okay, respect.
Brown and dark. For me, it's great. Okay. I think I'm tired. Like I said, we had this talk on my show the other day about my hair. I'm tired of certain folks saying that my fro means my hair isn't finished or it's not done or should be done some other way. I'm like, no, an afro is a hairstyle. This is a hairstyle, folks. I'm not braiding my hair or straightening it. This is a style sometimes. Black folks have afros. Other races have afros also. And bushy curly hair. So it's like, I'm tired of folks telling me, so you got your hair, you're gonna braid it later, right? No, my hair is this.
I can't relate.
I know you can't talk. I know Phil was like, fuck you, James, I can't talk about that.
Yeah, I've been bald since I was in my mid-20s, bro.
Yes. I was trying to feel better when the song came out, I'm Black and I'm Proud. That's right. And Leopard, I'm so sad. Leopard, they asked my grandmother where her tail was when she was a kid. The white boys would say, where's your tail?
Because
they thought black folks were animals.
Oh, gotcha.
Back in the 30s and 40s, they asked where your tail is. She said under my dress.
Ew.
She had a smart mouth because me, like my family, had a smart mouth. But you get asked that, just like they're like it's completely offensive. They thought she had it. They thought because she was black, she had a tail. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's just ridiculous. I hear stories like that. You think, God, it's so ridiculous. Or my grandmother going to the South for the first time and almost getting arrested because she went just to a water fountain to drink water. She was 14 years old.
I believe that. Yeah.
Well, they almost arrested her.
When my grandfather or my on my mom's side, so he used to cut sugar cane back when that was a thing. So you had the machetes or whatever. And races is always different wherever you go. So he would go to like Alabama and Arkansas. He would fly out from Barbados to cut cane. And he would come back with stories. And he would say, yeah, there's certain streets you can't walk down because you're black, or you can't look at white women if you're black. My family never believed him. Like, whatever, Shirley, you're crazy. My grandpa was named Shirley, I know. You're crazy. I can't believe it. You know what I mean? Ruben, excuse me. His name's Ruben. And so, but it's true. You get to understand that, like, in certain regions of this country, there are still parts that are in a generation ago. You know what I mean? Like, the last confirmed lynching was in 1981, which was the same year as MTV, which is for perspective. So, it's all
and Flobo has a light-skinned parent, dark-skinned parent.
I do. My dad gets can pass. My dad usually gets passed for Puerto Rican, but when he worked in transit, New York City Transit Authority, he was Italian presenting. So he dropped his accent, just working his way up that ladder because the MTA was mobbed up back then. The MTA had a big Genesee family connection. So people who only got positions of power were Italian. So my dad basically learned to cook Italian food, talked very much like this to get himself in that whole thing.
Yeah, my father passed to get ahead. In the 70s, my father was super light-skinned, could pass for things. So he did it too. You have a question for Flobo? Well, ask the question.
Did we skip this question? I don't
know. So I had a question for Flobo. I'm answering.
I had an answer for, who was that? Black
Love.
Oh, I have an answer for everybody.
With a Q. Either Black Love with a Q.
Yeah.
But no, someone said, DC goes, I have a question for Flobo. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Tell me, DC Soap Sanctuary.
What's the question? Let's see. I went up a little bit. Pam Anderson, my girl Pammykins. Yes.
Oh, you know her too. Okay, great.
You know I know her. I talked about her yesterday. You know I know her. I talked about that yesterday. White supremacy, blah, blah, blah. NDRE, it's not my hair. Thank you very much. I wish we could change how society sees us instead of being racist towards us for having melanin skin. Thank you so much for being so open and vulnerable with us. It's refreshing to see men share their emotions. I agree.
Oh, I think I see it. I see the question he's asking.
He's a Cancer. I'm a Taurus. We talk about it. I did. I'm going to copy and paste and give me a second so you can scroll up. Oh, you're going to ask. Oh, you are the answer because you are the answer.
So, Flobo, I got to ask, you ever wonder when dating, like, would this girl even find me attractive if I looked like the old Flobo? Would she even give me time of day? Oh, absolutely. All the time. In fact, there's only one girl that I can remember that liked me beforehand. And then she still liked me afterwards. That I was like, oh, she'd be a lock-in. She'll be a shooter. I don't have to worry about that. But definitely, yeah, especially now, on top of the physical attributes of what I have, I am a brother with 2 college degrees with no children. I mean, that is a very rare category.
Unicorn.
Yeah, I get that too. And so not to say that's fetishized, but sometimes I'll go on dates and I feel like I'm being casted for a role as husband before people get to know who I am because of these attributes I have. So I get it.
I have been referred to as caramel, peanut butter, honey. I've been all those. I've been referred to those. Yes. Honey. I always say honeyland to people, but I have been referred to as caramel, which I don't mind that. Peanut butter. I don't mind that. I tell people I'm cinnamon because I will melt in the water.
Butter pecan Rican?
Butter. I like that.
Your crowd has some good questions. I didn't know
you guys, you lotties, do you show up? I didn't know this was all gonna happen. Shit, I was like, we're just gonna bring him on. And I told Flo, just relax and casual. I'm on here all the time.
Yeah,
we went deep in here today.
You're like, psychologically, how do you feel about losing weight? Oh, bro, I
never even asked that question. I've interviewed him several times. I never even asked that question. I was like, fuck. I'm like, we're going in, folks. We're going in.
Hey.
I mean, just like that's. Oh, someone just signed up. Yay for the October 8th private Zoom. Great. Okay, good. So October 8th. I'm so excited. Thank you for that on PayPal. Thank you. Sign up for my event. Sign up for our event. Now you know who he is. Sign up today or tomorrow for our event. It's going to be on New Year's. Just get it done now. Just pay for it now. $25. Get it now. And just get ready. Get ready. And there's 4 ways to pay too. We got all kinds of ways you can pay on here. It's super easy for you guys. But I love that people are paying for these things coming out of the woodwork right now and paying.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
Because you're a good person.
I'm trying to put out good put out good energy for everybody. And that's because we have enough negative energy out there. I'm shady for fun. I always love you shady, but I am shady for fun. I actually am a nice person, I swear it.
I mean, you're right.
I wouldn't save my life either. But other than that, I'm a great person.
Give it up for great people.
For gay people or great people?
Great people, but I can give a shout out to great people too. Yeah, give it up. Gay people.
I was like, you said for gay people. It's like
I feel weird clapping, but I'll do it if you want me to. Yeah.
In the soap opera announcer voice, the role of available man in his 30s is now being played by.
And ladies, I'm available. Tony had asked, what am I looking for? Still trying to figure that out, by the way. I don't want to leave you hanging.
Yes, folks, I am working it out. Like what Tony said yesterday too, but like Flobo said, when I go full on to stuff, I go full on to stuff, and I just go full steam ahead. And like any events, just so you plan in the future. And so New Year's it will be here before you know it, you guys. You know it will be. It'll be here before you know it. I mean, we're saying now it's the fucking October, but there you go, kids. It'll happen in a moment's notice.
It's all my fault because I just told them one time or many times that New Year's Day is my favorite holiday. If I said my favorite holiday was Halloween, it'd be a wrap. You'd be like, next week.
Yes. So that's why I just, hi, this Chemo Beauty. How are you?
Hey.
How tall is Flobo? Flobo, how tall are you?
6 feet.
And tell them what size shoe you wear.
It depends on the brand, between 13 and 14.
Okay, kids.
That's unfortunately large as well. But
I'm just saying.
I got really skinny fingers. I don't know why.
Look at his fingers, folks.
So
lady, I'm looking at fingers, lady.
I bowl. I have to get a special ball that's heavy because I like strong things, but I have thin fingers. But no one's complained. No one's complained. Yeah, no one's complained. But I just people go, your fingers are really thin. I'm like, even when I was heavy, you know.
I'm just like, because folks, I'm 6 feet tall and wear a size 14 shoe too, and it's all true, kids. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's all whatever you're thinking, it's all true.
We have good credit, yeah.
Yeah, that too. Yes. Like I said, my stuff's been sent back to the table to the kitchen. So that's all.
Oh my gosh, what kitchen would that be if someone sent it back?
And it was like, I don't. That looks great, but I'm full. Thanks.
Yeah, exactly. Can you put this in a box?
Can I get to-go box for this, please? I'm full. Excuse me. Size 13. Oh my.
It's true. I mean, I actually have that measured as well, but it's not this. Right forward.
I'm not 13 inches there either. I'm not saying all that, but I'm just
I'm not saying. I'm just saying. Because what everyone always asks, it doesn't matter. And so one time I sat there and actually measured it, and I guess I am on the higher percentile. But that's besides the point. Next question.
let's give Flobo a blush. Okay, James lived lives could feel like a Good Morning America turned quickly. I know. PG James. Sorry, yes.
PG, yeah.
Be back on Jake. I'm a dirty old man, guys. We can take you back.
Really, dirty old man? Well, I never.
No, I never. Well, I have. From his nose and his thumbs.
My nose.
I see your thumbs. like your thumbs. Actually, your thumbs look normal.
Yeah. Size 14 should look like good credit.
I know, funny, you got good credit. Hey, that's I got good credit too, folks. I'll tell you that I paid off all my stuff. I'm good, I'm like, I live in a house. I have good credit. I got a good garden. So
Garden's dope.
See, he saw it yesterday. I showed Flobo something I did. I was very proud of myself because, I don't do a lot of manly stuff myself. I just get somebody to do it. But I put this huge stand with these flowers in it. I had to stand in the ground. I hammered it in there too. I was very proud of myself.
As you should be. I didn't know what you were proud of, so I kind of missed it. I was like,
yeah, he missed it.
And I was like, yeah, but I got it.
And Flobo didn't realize he was talking to my mother yesterday. He missed that.
Didn't.
The famous, you guys all know Benita, the famous Benita. He didn't really.
I never heard her voice before. Well, I'll say, let's get back. One time you showed me a video of a present she got me. She goes, hi, but that didn't know what her voice was. So I was like, you're talking, and it could have been your dentist, could have been a friend.
Now, if Flobo ever had to set James on a date with someone, would he know how to properly set him up and vice versa? Question to James.
I can set up James up with a question. You're just slim pickings here in Los Angeles.
But
I think James would totally drop the ball. I would not trust James to set me up with a date ever. I love you, James, but ever.
No, Flobo said he probably. Well, first of all, I'm not picky, so I like all kinds of people, so I'm not picky. So I think he could find somebody for me and set it up. And I would go on a date, big fight, set it up. He kind of knows kind of what I like. So I mean, and he knows me, so he knows what I wouldn't like, probably,
yeah.
or who I wouldn't tolerate, because I'm very blunt. But I don't. I know some girls I think are cute for Flobo, but they would want more than what Flobo wants to give them.
Oh, I'm not. You're not talking about sex. Talking about like emotionally available.
That's what I mean. I'm talking about sex. I'm talking about there's some girls I know who want to settle down, get married, like that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
You're not there. So I'm like, I don't think you're there. So at this moment, you're not there. So I mean, I'm just saying, I think I think you're very attractive. So that's he's totally my type. If he was gay, he's one of my type. But there's girls I know. I'm like, no, that's just the things that they want.
Yeah. And that's I'm not sure it's a problem necessarily. It's different life stages. Like, because people look at me and they look at my age and they assume you gotta settle down, bro. But I'm like, I literally had one relationship my entire life. Like, what?
That's what it is.
It's a weird thing. I get it. I totally get it. Yeah.
I always forget that. Flo hasn't been out there in the world dating all the time. So yeah, so he still play the field a little bit. He was with somebody I kind of liked. So
I know. Yeah.
She was nice. So, but she wanted different things. So no,
but you can't always get what you want. But if
Flo gets them. Just it depends on what you want at a time. I'm ready to settle down and everything. So that's kind of for me, but that's another story.
Yeah.
So Flobo is just a maintenance man. I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
I don't know. I'm offended. I
I
don't
don't
know.
know what that means. I like that Flobo. Don't let nobody rush you. Even if you don't get married till you're 60, take your time. That's true.
I do weddings every week. I see the ones that the guys like, oh man. Even the girls are like, oh man. Oh man.
Can you imagine he's a wedding DJ, so he sees all that all the time.
Yep. I play Uptown Funk every week. Uptown Funky Book. Uptown Funky Book.
Do they still play Celebration all the time?
I don't celebrate. I open it with September. I think that's a better song. But
Okay.
pretty much you start opening up with a funk song, yeah.
I don't know what that means. Seriously, so DC Sub Sanctuary, I usually know everything. I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
Maintenance band. They're all I think about it. Is that a young kid thing? I don't know. I don't know that one.
I mean like a D appointment? I don't know.
What would he be maintaining? I don't know.
This is kind of cool.
I know I'm slow. I'm slow, you guys. I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
Is that are you trying to secure the bag? What do we say? What do we say? What's going on? What's going on? We're trying to flip it or something.
Oh man, James.
Flobo stand-up question. Do you have to go to joke to turn the tide of audiences a little unreceptive?
Yes and no. So I like to think that when you're doing stand-up, my analogy is like being a baseball pitcher, but any kind of sport, you have like things that hit all the time, things that kind of like, things a little bit more experimental. So yes, you could try to go into little bits to back to the stuff you're more secure with to get everyone back. But in that actual moment, if something just thuds and doesn't land, I like to just call it out. I'm like, oh, you guys didn't like that one, or what's wrong? You're going through some stuff, just to really say, I'm with you guys still. Because when someone is responding with a joke with a non-response and you carry on as if you don't acknowledge that, they feel like your show isn't authentic. You're just reciting jokes at this point and you might lose them altogether. So I like to make sure they're still with me the entire time.
Chemo Beauty. Okay, this Chemo Beauty. She broke it down for me. Maintaining pipe. Oh, you're a maintenance man, maintaining the pipe. Oh, now I'm getting it.
I thought you were being coy. Yes.
No, it really wasn't. I didn't get it. I really didn't get it. I'm like, I don't know what that. I'm like, what? How? What? That's how long it's been for me, folks. I forgot what sex and things are anymore. I guess
that ends up being the thing. Not to make it woe is me and not to brag, but what ends up happening is you'll meet someone that wants a casual thing and they get to know who I am after maintenance, and then it's kind of like, oh my gosh, you're so different as a person because I'm part alien, right? It's like they catch feelings. And I go, well, we said, I don't know what I want. You know what I'm saying? So it becomes awkward. And so it ends up ending always on good terms, but it ends up being like, yeah, casual. Feelings are getting caught. And then it kind of ends.
Okay, this Chemo Beauty. Okay, I'm sorry, girl. I haven't had any pipes laid in a long time. I don't actually think it's bad when someone's only had one serious relationship. The only concern is that they will figure out everything they like and don't like on that first relationship. Oh, that's
absolutely
interesting. That's
absolutely, yeah. Because everything is like, you know how you say your parents raise you for the next person. It's kind of the same thing. Like, not to say it has to be a deal breaker. I'm not saying you have to be a wrestling fan necessarily, but you can't hate wrestling because my entire career is that, for example. And to find someone who either encourages a creative thing is something I think about now. It's like when I moved to California 15 years ago, the first apartment I had, I was like, just get me in there. And I had a folding chair and an air mattress. And I lived in that thing for 2 years. Now I'm looking at apartments going, hope there's covered parking, central air, hookups for a washer and dryer. Because you know what you have, you know what you want.
Yeah.
You know?
That's true. That's kind of funny. I feel like Flo would be the type of person a girl tells him I love you. He goes, oh, well, thank you. Not sure what to say here.
Oh, you were there?
That is Flobo. That's totally Flobo.
Oh,
that's
man.
totally Flobo.
I'm a sitcom character. Like, wow. That's cool.
Oh my God, that's totally Flobo.
Dude, I'm a robot. I know. I gotta be better at that. That's why I kind of stay home. And I do my thing. Not to be like a homebody, but it's like I go out there and I don't know how to deal with feelings. And then if I don't know what I want, it's like, because now everyone's like, are you dating with intention, brother? Buy my books and my worksheets. You know, if you're dating with intention. I go, that sounds way too complicated for me.
Sure does.
I just want a milkshake. Can someone go with me and get a milkshake? You know what I'm saying?
Why can't it just be easy?
I just want it to be easy. I want to meet people, you know?
Yes, exactly. Damn, I'm scared of you. Exactly. Oh yeah. The pipes are clean. Ain't nothing going on down there. It's like there's been no maintenance on them for 3 years. Exactly. When you become someone's okay. You've been single. Oh, so Black Love, you're my age. You've been single 15 years. 53. I was trying to tell us to Flobo. Dating at 53 is actually also we're older. We're considered older. It's a different world. especially in the gay world, than it is if you're in your 30s or 40s.
Mhm.
I always tell Flobo that all the time. It's a little weird also for us at this age.
Yeah. But I have faith. I do have faith though, because I feel like if you are looking for someone else in the alternate universe or alternate product talent looking for the same person.
So we're gonna go for another 10 minutes.
Cool.
At 11. I've been on for over 2 hours. She got it on. Okay, so Bonnie Burrows, whoever guessed this, is wearing a GH Mini Spotlight t-shirt. She just sent me the picture. It looks so cute on her. So GH fans, she's wearing it. Oh my God. That is so funny. I love it. Oh my God, looks so cute. Anyway, you said there's questions for, okay, let's see. Do you think WWE is better or worse since Vince retired?
In short, it's better, but I don't think everyone's kind of fawning over it like it's a night and day change. It's not. I think there's more opportunities for the characters and wrestlers, but there's certain things I think they need to work on. And I hope NXT Europe is part of that. I hope NXT rebranding is part of that. And I hope we get to have fresh matchups, but I don't understand why Karrion Kross is the guy. I don't think Johnny Gargano needs to be in the position he is right now. He's way too up the card. So I have my own gripes.
That's funny. Let's hear from Joshua Alonso. Okay.
Right. Yeah, we got to end this because I think my lunch is burning. So give me like less than 5 to 10. We'll be good.
I just said we're ending in 10 minutes. I'm just
saying less than 10 would be preferable.
You can always sign off. And I can finish.
Absolutely. Now we're getting questions, baby. I will eat my burnt food if it means I don't have to answer these questions.
I know people are going to ask all these questions. I really didn't know that was going to happen. I just thought you'd come on and hang out for a little bit. Shit, I don't know.
Yeah.
You guessed Gladys. You did. You guessed Gladys. It was her. So I'll post it later on social media. What does Flo think about Cody Rhodes leaving AEW for WWE?
Didn't believe it when I heard the rumors, but I was there live at WrestleMania when it happened. Cody Rhodes, I give him credit for betting on himself. I give him credit for starting AEW and being one of the guys, but I think his original press conferences saying that we're going to take down WWE, they're kind of no fun, put a sour taste in my mouth for a new wrestling promotion. So when he came back, I was kind of like, I don't know. But then I saw that pectoral match. I don't know if you saw this, James, where he had ripped his pectoral off his bone and still wrestled that weekend. His like entire chest was like black and blue. I was like, Cody's a real deal. Can't get mad.
Yeah.
I don't get hangry, Tony. I do the opposite. He's like, I'm hangry. I'm the opposite. When I'm hungry, I become like a very dramatic, like, oh, go on without me. It's fine. I'll find some crackers here. I literally left myself to burn. That's why I'm worried about it.
But see, here's the problem, Tony JC. If you know you're doing a show, and I told you, well, I told you about an hour or so, but anyway, you're doing a show, you know, like, why would you cook food?
Let me tell you something, Tony JC. When you said, hey, it's going to be a little hour or less or whatever, you can time something, okay? So I timed it. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
This guy.
Oh my God, you said okay. Oh my God. Never do that again, Flobo. Never do it again. It sounds weird when you say okay. It sounds weird.
Oh, I said never do the show again? I was like, damn.
No,
okay.
no.
Never say okay, I got it. Never do this again. Stop.
That's it. I'm done. That's it. Fuck it. No, my bad. But what is Flobo cooking?
Baked chicken parmesan.
Oh, he's all fancy schmancy.
I do it once a month to make sure I got the bachelor skill set online.
Hi, Albert. Yes, you'll see us tomorrow. DC says will come too. So tomorrow's event, there's still time to sign up. Just $5 fucking. That's all it is. Come tomorrow and join me. It's gonna be fun. We're talking about YouTube, so we'll tell you some funny YouTube stories. Come on there. People are coming. I will send out the links tonight. So I'm just waiting for everybody to finish. People are signing up for events right now, so we'll wait till you sign up. Then tonight I'll send out one email. We'll have a good time tomorrow. We're gonna have fun tomorrow, you guys. We'll have a good old time. We're gonna talk it out. So it's gonna be fun. But just you should come. You should come. At least for tomorrow. Albert's been lurking. I know you black men. What you guys be doing?
I mean, this is 20 people in chat. Yeah.
I know people are in here. It's been steady today. No Kirsten Marie. Usually she comes on. She didn't come on today. I'm just gonna be sad you weren't here. She wasn't here for you. But yes. Thank you. I'm gonna end it. I'm just gonna end it now because we've been on over 2 hours. I feel bad again. I feel bad for anybody who watches this later. I'm sorry it's been so long. You're like, wasn't JLJ one like an hour and a half? Well, the last couple of mornings has been a little longer than that. This is a very great discussion. And so if you guys want Flobo back again, tell me in the chat. You want him back again?
Before I get out of here, though, I got to give a shout out to Cherry. She says, what's the most memorable WWE event you ever attended? I have two. One, I went to WrestleMania 26. That was Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels, streak for his career. And then this year's WrestleMania was in Dallas, but that was the first time I went with my podcast. I do a podcast with Spotify. So to be going as press, as media, to me is like really a big deal. And SummerSlam this year too. So those three. WrestleMania 26, WrestleMania 2022, SummerSlam 2022.
And I went to WrestleMania 5 and I had that t-shirt.
That's a good one. That's actually a classic one, yeah.
Trump Tower.
Trump Tower.
Trump Taj Mahal, I mean.
Yeah.
You love all my shows, thank you. Long or short, you enjoy them all. Well, thank you. I'll take that.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. No, seriously, I appreciate that. I give you content constantly. Constant content. Constant craving. Little Katie Lang. Come back, Flobo.
I will.
Everybody say good to know him. Follow him at flobito.com, Flobo Boyce everywhere. He has a Cash App we had up for a long time for Flobito.
Thank you.
They want you back. They want you back. I will find out when he's available at another morning. Maybe if you're nice, I'll come back maybe one day next week in the morning. I'll see what day he's available. Yeah, come back in the morning. But we'll come back and do this again. Of course, sign up for all of my stuff. Sign up.
Please do. It's a lot of fun.
Thank you for the folks who bought me coffees last couple of days, and I hounded you, and you did. So thank you. I have a new Patreon today. And that's Betty Jean. Thank you, Betty Jean, for being my new Patreon subscriber. I'm now at 26. I was going to read my Patreon people, and I lost that list somewhere.
Oh, thanks,
Natasha.
And Tracy and Tony. Well, I cook. Yeah, Tony, I cook, and I have good people. Like I can't do anything with my hands. So if something breaks down, we call him a guy. We're calling it a guy. Yeah.
Supporting the economy. We're supporting the economy. This used to be a weekly show between two. That's what they're saying. I don't know. I had an idea for something, but Flo doesn't want to do it. So we'll see.
Okay.
He's having a crisis, right? He's trying to figure out his life.
Yes, because I'm washed up. Content's over.
Your content's not over. And yes, you'll see me. Those of you will see me tomorrow. Everybody, please take care of yourselves, as Jerry Springer says, and each other.